people are listening to this than I expected. I didn't expect to be getting hundreds of views right away. I thought there was like a small chance because I have delusions of grandeur, and I feel like I'm supposed to be famous.
You're not.
You don't think so?
No.
Why?
I mean, unless it's for like killing and eating people.
Why? I feel no. I was thinking of a cool kind of famous.
Is that not cool? That's pretty cool. Hannibal.
It's cool, kind of cool. I mean, not really anything about it is cool, actually. No, I think that would not be cool.
Hannibal got famous from that.
That's what I thought you were talking about when you said we'll get more food.
Eating people?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, there's the next tier up.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like you can give money, or if you want to be a true, show your devotion, you can offer
like,
your body.
At what stage do we get like Epstein money? You know what I mean? Like how much donos a month do we need to be like, all right, now we're going to start sacrificing children?
I mean, I don't want to say anything anti-Semitic. I'm just saying I think it depends on what kind of donors you've got. I think the other thing too is I just don't know what the exchange rate is. You know, everybody kind of feels bad about people eating or like not eating, but doing anything bad to kids.
Yeah, but it seems like amongst rich, gross-ass dudes, the younglings are their preferred target.
Sure. But that makes me think they're the most expensive.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Because like it's kind of like a status symbol.
Yeah.
Type thing. It's like
I say that if we do get to like if we are revising these estimates, like I think like at $1,000. All the patrons who are paying us, we're gonna have a pizza party or something, hot and sweaties.
Yeah.
Party at my house.
You don't feel like? Do you feel like you're supposed to be famous?
Hell no, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You think you're gonna be famous?
No, I don't think I'm going to be famous. I just feel like a weird imbalance in the world that I'm not famous.
Gotcha. Like we're missing out.
Not like I'm missing out. I don't even want to be famous.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know if I like made an incorrect choice at some point in my life, but I just feel like at some point I was supposed to be famous, or that I'm supposed to be famous eventually.
I feel the same way, not about being famous, but I felt the same way about being rich. Like that I'm like, there's something that I've done that's preventing me, because there's a lot of dumbass like rich people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who have just like lucked into being rich, you know what I mean? Like there's that one douchebag who's like, I made the little car air freshener that smells like weed, and now I'm a billionaire. And it's like, that's all you did?
Yeah.
You're a dumbass and you're richer than me? Stuff like that, and that bothers me. And so I'm like, I've always thought like, I'm like, it can't be hard. Like, and there's so many times where I'm like, I'm on the cusp of just becoming like a multi-billionaire, because it's like, it's just that easy.
But that's the thing. My flawed thinking before was, all that stuff is dumb. Like a weed air freshener is dumb.
Yeah.
So it's like I should be able to do something that's not dumb.
Yeah, the problem is everybody's dumb.
Everybody's dumb. And so that's a liberating thing to learn.
Yeah. Because
it's like the actual answer is just keep being dumb. Keep doing dumb stuff.
Yeah. That's like Cayden was just telling me yesterday. He's like, some dude just made an app that tells you which McDonald's ice cream machines is broken at the moment. So if you're like, I'm trying to go get a milkshake on, you roll up, or you pull up your app, and you're like, okay, I can't go to the one down the street. I got to go to the one downtown.
Is he making money off it?
Well, he's got to be.
Ads or something?
I mean, it's got to be ads. Yeah, if people are using it, you can offer that crap for free and then just put ads all over it.
That's the thing. Like, not everybody knows how to parlay like success in a given area into monetization.
See, I feel like you don't need that, because Apple wants it so bad that they'll start plugging ads into your crap whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
No, they don't do that.
I know, but I feel like they would be right. If you were like, should I? They'd be like, yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think they'd be fine with it. But I think they take more of a passive role. Like, they're not going to engage with that dude.
No, for sure. But I'm saying, if he had any idea that like this could potentially make me money, I feel like Apple has published resources where it would be like, this is how you do it. You check this box and that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There are a lot of ways to do ads. And there are like guides online for how to include ads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are a billion ways out there to make money. I'm just saying, like, might as well just like, I'm at a point now where I think I just want to try a bunch of like stupid ways to get rich.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only way you can.
Like ideas that I had when I was 16 for making money were probably too smart.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, take it back to like a 13-year-old's idea of how to make money.
Yeah.
T-shirt company.
So yesterday, Cayden is asking me, he's like, oh, if you could make a drug that would make you run faster or jump higher, which one would you take? I said, run faster.
100%.
Run faster all day.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? And I was like, because I feel like that'd be more useful.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, but if you could jump higher, you could dunk. And I'm like, yeah, but if I can run faster, I can run faster. And he's like, yeah, but you wouldn't be able to dunk. I'm like, I can't dunk now. I'm not missing out on anything.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I mean, dunking would be freaking sweet, but super speed would be freaking amazing.
It just makes your leg muscles stronger. I mean, that's part of the problem with this is that a jump is just one prolonged run.
Well, no, it was the thing was like a pill that increases your vertical by like 3 to 4 inches, or a pill that like
shaves 2 seconds.
Yeah,
off
like
your 100-yard dash,
like something like that. Not
But
like
that's the
you
thing,
now
that
have
wouldn't-
super speed and you now can like jump like the Hulk. It was like
That's the problem is that those are the same thing, pretty much. I mean, it's just like a matter of coordination. It's like the people who can jump the highest are the people who can run fast.
right? But we're assuming that these are not correlated.
yeah, it's just
and that this pill
take
will
this
only
pill,
single
yeah.
one of them.
yeah. You take this pill and this happens. You
So
take
I guess
this
it would
pill and that
depend on what the
happens.
mechanism is. Like, is it making my bones lighter like a freaking bird?
I don't
No,
freaking
Because I
it
don't
just
want to be a
it just
sparrow.
makes you run faster.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing changes
just
about
all of a
you
sudden.
except
not-
you can now run faster.
But if you
or
can run
jump higher.
faster, then you can jump higher.
Not necessarily.
No.
Yes, necessarily.
No. Listen, that was the scenario. There's no other
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
other dumb stuff that goes with it. So then after that, we're talking, and Cayden's like, "Well, which one would you rather make?"
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "I'd
You
make
mean make?
yeah. If I'm a pharmaceutical company,
Oh, okay.
and I have the option to make magic pill that makes people run faster or jump higher, I said I'd do run faster still."
Yeah, and I agreed with that.
And then we started getting into even better special miracle drugs.
Okay.
And it was, if you could,
Some of these are Shaley, by the way.
yeah. So it was if you could have one that was like weight loss or cure baldness, which would you do? And I was like,
Weight
weight
loss.
loss for sure.
What kind of weight loss? Like fat trim?
I don't know, miracle freaking you're not fat anymore weight loss.
Yeah,
These are
well,
not
yeah, definitely.
realistic drugs.
Also, like miracle, all of
Yeah,
a sudden
I know,
you've got a
but
full
what are you
head of
talking
hair.
about? When you're saying like weight loss, it's like because full head of hair would be a lot easier to sell than than just basically cocaine. Cocaine will make you lose weight.
Yeah.
You do a ton of cocaine,
This
Yeah,
is
but
no
cocaine has
side,
side
effect,
effects.
no work involved.
This
Just
is
like
just a
you
magic
take this
pill.
thing, and all of a sudden you are the healthiest BMI for your.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
So I say that, and then it somehow gets into baldness or dick pills. Like if you could have a bigger dick,
big or just hard.
Yeah.
no big, and if
Baldness.
and I said baldness. I think
Here's because the thing is like here's what it's based on.
Oh, no,
It's
no,
based-
no,
if-
I
no,
went-
we're talking
yeah,
about.
I
Are we
was
saying
gonna say,
are we
we
saying
went-
taking or selling? I'm talking about selling.
No, we're doing
if I'm
selling.
them, yeah,
Or,
if I'm
yeah,
making-
I would
as a
much rather
company.
sell hair pills than dick pills because
Ah.
easily.
I
because-
chose dick pills because
Nah, dude.
because only bald people need the bald pill. Bald people and people with hair will take the dick pill.
Yeah.
No. Here's the thing. Somewhere between 0 and 1 people know whether or not they have a small dick. So if that pill costs $1,000 and they're all
It's
right.
covered by insurance.
Okay, well, if that costs, I mean, regardless of what it is, if they're rocking 3 inches,
Yeah.
they're just not as motivated to get a pill.
I
However, and there are existing surgeries to solve that problem as well. There are basically no good surgeries to solve baldness that are not extremely prohibitively expensive. And if you have baldness and you look like a dummy, then like everyone knows.
Yeah.
Everyone can see it all around you all the time.
Right, but at the same time, if you are one of these people that's so plagued by baldness that
Yeah.
you're an incel,
Uh-huh.
I feel like the incel would at least be like,
There are people that are plagued by dick size too.
yeah, but I think those are good problems that I think people would rather have than, I don't think baldness has ever been like, this is a good problem to have.
I don't know.
I think more people.
I feel like you're arguing my point now. I think you're arguing in favor of baldness pills.
I think more people would want a dick pill
You think more people would want a dick pill
than bald pill. Yeah,
I don't know.
there's just a bigger audience for it.
I'm saying
Yeah,
no, there's not.
not everybody.
Definitely
Not everybody goes bald.
yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Everybody.
Not everybody has a small dick.
No, it's not about having
It's
a
not about
small
having a
dick.
small one.
Everybody
Yeah.
wants a bigger dick.
I'm just saying.
No, I don't, dude. Do you know how difficult it is already sometimes to have a dick that's this size?
Again, good problem.
Yeah.
That's not a good problem. That's painful for me. And so, and then on top of that, it's like the other thing a lot of people don't know if they don't have a big dick is like it can be harder to stay hard because there's just like
Not enough blood.
not
in
enough
your
blood
body.
in your body. Yeah, literally.
I need a
So you
spare
have to
liter.
have better cardiovascular health and everything to keep it. Whereas like if you have a smaller dick, you can keep that. You can go freaking like imagine all the strength. If you just concentrate all of your shite down into like a 4-inch dick, just imagine the power you'd have.
Yeah.
It's like an ant. You know how an ant can lift
Lift 20 times
20
his
times his
body
body? I could
Yeah.
funk 20 times my own dick. I mean, and so speaking, yeah, I mean, maybe it's just because I know what the one is like. And maybe if I had a small dick and a beautiful head of hair, that I'd be like, oh, yeah, definitely dick pills.
Yeah.
So I can see why you might think that, Cayden, but
Yeah.
Hit that rim shot.
dab, 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 dab.
I mean, balding sucks.
No, but I
Especially
mean,
at 15.
the thing is, like, I mean, being bald is not so bad for me.
I know. I remember I told you this one time. I remember you were like, you called me a dick because I was like, dude, just think of it. Baldness is always in style because there's always bald people. So it's
Yeah.
like, no matter what time in history you are, it's like somebody's bald and somebody who's bald is cool. So there will be people who are like, that's a cool ass bald dude. Michael Jordan's bald.
Yeah, but I think I just lucked out because it's like 20% of white guys and like 60% of black guys look good bald.
Yeah.
If you're part of that 80% of white guys,
Yeah.
then you just look like a Q-tip.
I think being ripped helps. And since you have muscles, I think it's a lot. Because if
I
you
don't know,
were
it's
just
head
some like,
shape, it's a lot of things.
but,
you
yeah,
know?
but I mean, if you're just some short like twig-looking dude and you're bald,
I know.
I don't think that's a good combo.
The
But
other
if you're
thing, though,
ripped, you can pull off the bald.
if I had good hair, I would definitely just be more handsome. Okay? It's like any bald guy that exists out there, if you took that person and added cool hair, they would look better. That there might be like one or two people that look like their best bald. But I mean the vast majority of guys that look good bald would look better with a cool haircut. I never had a cool haircut because I was just like
I don't know.
shaved. I had my head like bicked, or not bicked, but like
I'm just trying. I mean, I'm thinking about bald guys that I know. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, Kobe Bryant. I mean,
I was gonna
you can argue that Froby was
Uh-huh.
pretty cool, but adult male Kobe is I think the
yeah.
handsomer of the two.
for
Yeah.
sure. That doesn't mean that he wouldn't have looked better with a good haircut.
Well, he had
Yeah,
normal
yeah.
haircuts. He didn't always have the fro. He had just like the clean
Uh-huh.
fade,
Uh-huh.
and it was. I mean, it was a clean haircut. It was.
Yeah.
I think the bald was the better.
And
look,
I think
though.
the bald one looked better. It's like
I think
LeBron
it's- I think
James.
it's a little different for
LeBron
black
James
guys.
would look better bald because he's not pretending to
Dude.
not be bald.
Yeah.
That's the truth. No, I think it's a little bit different for bald guy or for black guys.
Yeah.
But like Bruce Willis, he's a guy who's somewhat famous for being a handsome dude, which just shows how low the standards of the world are. But he's a famous bald guy.
Yeah.
If he had a cool haircut, he would definitely look better. That's just the way it is.
I don't know.
Things will never be the
I
same.
don't know.
I don't know. I saw Michael Chiklis before he went bald, and he was not as cool.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's true that someone can be uglier when they have hair and then become more handsome, and that may coincide with them being bald.
Yeah.
That might mean that they had a crappy haircut before. Maybe they just were going through an awkward phase in their looks, you know?
Yeah, baldness is pretty rough.
I mean, it's not the worst thing that can happen to somebody, but that's the thing. That's the other thing is I think there's just a lot of people that don't really care that much about having a small dick. And I guess the question is too, what are we talking about here? Because Like, does someone who's rocking 4 inches really care about having a small dick?
I don't know.
If you're like a 1 centimeter and you can get that person to be like 6 inches or whatever, then yeah, definitely whoever the 1 centimeter.
1 centimeter realistic?
Yeah, isn't it a micro penis?
Micro dong?
Micro dong is like,
I didn't know that. That's rough.
I think it's like 1.5 inches and under. And so the fact that there's an and under.
Yeah, jeez, man. I feel like infants come out like that.
Yeah, so I think those people, they pay a lot. If you were, dude, this is the other thing about like famous rich people getting up to weird stuff.
Yeah.
Like Harvey Weinstein
Oof.
and what's his face who we were talking about before?
Epstein.
Both of these people, and I think I've heard something about Trump, supposedly have like famously weird looking dongers.
Yeah, in the Epstein documentary, they're like,
he has like an egg.
That's the best part of the whole documentary. He's in there in his freaking deposition, and the opposing lawyer is like, "Is it true that you have an egg-shaped penis?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm out."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'm not answering that." And it's like, well, the plaintiff has alleged that yours is rather, egg-like.
Yeah.
And he's like, "How dare you? He's like, "This is silly." And he's like, "I mean, you're under oath, homie.
Yeah.
Is it an egg?"
Show us your dick.
Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, baby, an ostrich egg." It's
Wait,
that's
till
not
you see
any
my
big.
dick. Hey, lawyer.
What
Wait till you see my egg.
That's pretty good. Doesn't Weinstein have some sort of comical penis?
I feel like his was like Technicolor or something. Like his was,
Oh, really?
His was something was wrong with it. It's multicolored or
Maybe
zebra
that's the
striped
thing.
or something. I don't remember.
If you're both rich, it's not being rich. It's a combination of being rich
Yeah.
and having a weird donger that turns you into a rapist.
Maybe. Or maybe that's part of like I was saying, like dumb people being rich.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of it. They offered their dinger up to Satan as an offering. And they said,
snap.
Instead of selling my soul, I'll sell you what's my third leg.
Yeah. And then once they get the messed up donger, they're like, well, I'm already going to hell.
Better start raping.
To be honest, I think like if I somehow could trade the donger for like $6 billion, I think I'd rather have $6 billion.
In a freaking heartbeat.
I don't think I'd do it for $1 million. But when you get to $6 billion, yeah definitely. Because I was thinking, like, think of all the cool things you could do with $6 billion.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking about it, and it's like, I mean, there are projects I'd like to fund or whatever. But the way I feel about it right now, it's like, I just can't. I don't think anything would be. Because I was like, there's so many things that you could do with that might be more enjoyable than having a penis when you put them all together.
Yeah. All the penises or all the things?
Both.
Okay.
But then I'm like, what's actually enjoyable in the world?
You could buy bean bags.
There's nothing.
The only thing that makes me happy anymore is like looking at Facebook profiles of people on Facebook. Some person who's like, and I declare that God for my witness, Trump will be president.
I do not consent to have my pictures stolen from Facebook by Facebook.
And so then I open up their profile and I like look at like these people's lives, and that makes me happy for a minute.
Yeah. One of my favorite things to do when I'm trying to fall asleep is to try and think about what I would do if I did have like $6 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fairly short list.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm like, there's not a whole lot that I would change.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'd quit my job. That's about it. That's like the biggest change that I'd do. But otherwise, I'm like, I'd have a cool car. I mean, maybe we'd get a new house, and then the rest of it, I'd be like, I'm gonna do stuff for other people.
Yeah.
It's like that's
doing stuff for other people would be nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think about people who are like, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm like an ugly, non-trendy buffoon, but I'm like, there's people who are like, dude, I want to buy that $800 Gucci t-shirt. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm cool with that $8 Amazon Basics or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the Hanes, his comfort, stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't care. But yeah, it's always interesting to me when.
I don't think I'd buy a new car.
No.
I don't think I'd buy a new car. I mean, I think I'd probably eventually get a house.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be in like a rush to get moved into a new place.
Right.
I think the thing that I would probably like, the temptation for me would be hiring people.
Yeah, like a freaking chef.
Like a chef would be big for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably hire someone to like look for videos of like teenagers fighting, or like just like different fight videos.
Yeah.
That's about it.
This is for $6 billion.
$6 billion. I mean, I can think of like different like companies that I would want to fund.
Hmm.
Yeah. It'd be cool to build like a little compound and have a cool car, and that's that's it. I don't know what else. I don't know how many cool cars you need, but
I definitely wouldn't get a new car.
no.
Not even that Audi you rented?
I like that Audi, but it's like now, see, that was a good solution because I didn't have a car and because I wasn't paying for it. So if like my car broke down or something like that, then I'd consider, replacing it with whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, instead of that, I could just drive the car that I've got right now.
Yeah.
Which
I tell you what, though, if like somehow I won the lottery or something, or if I started a company and sold it for $6 billion or whatever the case is, I wouldn't tell freaking anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
Not a freaking soul. I mean, I'd tell Shaylee. I'd probably tell you.
Yeah.
But as far as just like everybody,
you don't
I
want
would
people knowing
dude.
that.
I wouldn't tell anybody.
That's probably why so many lottery winners kill themselves. It's because like all the people in their life change. And
yeah, one of my teachers in school, one of my finance teachers, was telling me, he's like, I've seen a number of studies that say that show that have like tracked the lives of people who've won lotteries, and they either kill themselves, end up in jail, or lose the money. Those are like the only three outcomes. There's not anybody who's like rich and then stays rich. It's like extremely rare. And it's like, stuff not earned is kind of, there's not as much value to it.
Yeah.
So one guy he like picked up his money, or I don't think you pick up the money, but whatever, he accepted his winnings with a mask on, so because he didn't want anybody to know who he was.
Yeah, that's
smart.
It's a good idea.
Susan was telling me that in economics, like they found that if you pay like $1 for something, you're more likely to use it than if you get it for free, because like you actually value it. You know, just having like a little bit of like reality or work tied to whatever it is that you're getting, I think is just good for you psychologically.
Yeah. We were talking about this a minute ago with Shaylee's parents. They were talking to us about their will and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, you got to be careful, because stuff that's given and not earned gets wasted a lot of the time.
Yep.
I mean, it's like the exact opposite of what you were saying. It's like the people who spend $1 are more likely to use it. If you get a bunch of free dollars, you're going to just waste them. You know what I mean? And it's funny because I don't know if it's just, and I mean, it might be the same thing that kind of goes into like the whole like pro athlete. It's like there's so many pro athletes who, I mean, have made millions and millions and then they're broke.
Yep.
And it's just, they got into it too quick. They didn't really have time to build it and like adjust to it. Not to say that they didn't earn it, because they did, but they earned it too quickly. And then it's, they don't know how to be rich. And they just, I mean, it's hard because like once you get into like millions and millions of dollars, it seems like that's an endless amount of money.
It's really not, though.
But when you have like tons and tons of dependents, I mean,
if you're Jeff Bezos, it would be very difficult for Jeff Bezos to go bankrupt based on his personal spending.
Yeah.
You know how many yachts he'd have to buy to go broke? How many football teams he'd have to...
The entire freaking league.
Yeah.
You could buy the whole league and still have leftover money.
So it's like, that right there, on some level, you get to a point, and not everybody has like a voracious appetite where they just want everything.
Right.
Like, for example, there aren't actually a lot of things that I want in the world. And I know that some people aren't that way.
Yeah.
Like, I really want food. I like spending money on food. I mean, I just like eating food.
Yeah.
I'd probably go on more vacations, but I don't really...
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would probably have a vacation house in Hawaii.
But I don't think I would... It's not like I'd be doing it all the time, you know?
Yeah, I think it depends on how much money... Because I feel like because heard so much about these people who go broke after they get money. I feel like I would be so conservative with whatever amount of money I got.
Yeah.
That it would almost be like I wasn't rich even at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I always like I work with a bunch of other finance nerds, and my boss was like, if I won the lottery, he's like, I'd quit my job, but he's like, I don't know what I'd spend it on, because it's like he's like me. He's like, I'd worry that I'd run out, and like sometimes I think about it, and I'm like, dude, if I won $10 million, I wouldn't spend $1 of it. I'd buy a bunch of stocks that pay dividends. And it's like, and even if I'm yielding like 5%,
yeah,
that's like $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's more than enough to live off of. I don't know what lifestyle, you're living where you're spending more. I mean, it's like Dr. Dre's wife is the only person who spends more than that a year.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's crazy. Having said that, if anybody wants me to manage their money, I'll do it for a very small fee.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not licensed, though, so...
You have to get creative with You gotta get paid in Bitcoin.
Yeah, Bitcoin.
What if maybe that can be one of our like Patreon
donation tiers.
Tier is like if you pay us $25 a month, we'll give you free financial advice.
Yeah, dude.
That probably doesn't have any legal risk at all for us.
No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any risk. Like Dave Ramsey, that idiot, he doesn't. I don't think he's licensed to give it to. You know what I mean? Like if you're giving it generally, I don't think there's any laws that say you can and can't say things. I think it's like if people are like under your direction, and you're advising them to, then you're like some freaking Bernie Madoff crap. Yeah.
I think it would be funny to be like, pay us $25 and we'll give you financial advice, and then they pay us $25 and we're like, I don't know, save your money or something.
Stop paying me $25, idiot.
That's right.
Yeah.
Cancel your Netflix subscription and raise up to the $50 tier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird to me, like all the different schools of thought surrounding finance. Because it's obviously a very personal thing.
Yeah.
And you have to. People value different things. Like you said, like with food, it's like. For most of my life since I've been earning money, it's like, even when we were like kids and we were working at CompUSA for like $12 an hour or whatever, it's not like I'm rich, but I'm still like, I'm gonna drop a whole day's worth of work today on my dinner, and I'm not gonna freaking think twice.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's just what I value, and it's like, this doesn't bother me. But if somebody was like, oh, you got to buy some sunglasses for $400, I'd be like, get the F out of here. I'm not spending that.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, it's funny, like the things that people value, and you have to like weigh that into whatever financial decisions you're making. But I clicked on something at some point in my YouTube, and now I'm flooded with all these people giving financial advice, and a lot of it is just so boring.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind that people need that advice, but
every once in a while I throw the algorithm off.
Yeah.
For the most part, I get different interviews or like stand-up sets from comedians that I like. And then I get like
2 girls, 1 cup.
Not even, dude. No women ever show up in my feed.
Yeah, on YouTube I don't get that either.
I get 0 women.
Yeah.
It's a dudes only algorithm. So it's like, it's comedians. And then every now and then, it's like there's one comedian who is also like an edgy political commentator type person. And so then it's like I'm inundated with like Trump ads for a while.
Yeah, I get Steven Crowder all the time.
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I've moved away from Ben Shapiro, so I don't have to hear his annoying ass.
Yeah.
But I do get Crowder Bits. The channel that keeps popping up in my crap.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's easy for me to scroll past. I don't really go through and just like look at recommended videos all that much anyway.
Yeah, I only look at the home.
Yeah.
That's the only tab. I don't look at Explore or what are these other tabs.
Yeah.
I don't even look at the stuff that I'm I only subscribe to like 2 things, but I don't even look at those. Speak of the freaking devil, my phone's listening to me. Here's some freaking dumbass Ben Shapiro bit right on my front page.
Dude, it definitely does listen. They say it doesn't, but it has to.
It's got to.
Either it's reading your brain waves.
Video games, Ben Shapiro, Rage Against the Machine concerts.
Oh yeah, I do
And
have
food.
music stuff comes up.
That's what as I'm scrolling through this.
I don't get food stuff on YouTube because I never look up food stuff on YouTube.
Yeah, and I like it when YouTube pops up with that thing and they're like, take this survey so we know what shite to shovel on you. And I'm like, nah, dude, you got to work for this.
Yeah, dude, that's your job.
Yeah, for real. I'm not going to do this for you.
Plus, I'm already giving you like hours and hours of watching material.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what
You
I'm
can't
spending my
figure
time
out-
doing.
Yeah, you can't figure it out.
For real. Google knows me better than any human being,
For real.
and they still can't figure out what I want.
As we were talking about that, I don't remember why, but earlier Ryan and I were talking about how we should rank stuff, and
Mhm.
when you were just talking about that, all I could think of was, dude, we should rank foods.
Oh,
Which-
yeah.
Which region
Well, like
has
different
the best
cuisines?
cuisine? Yeah.
Wait, which regions have the best cuisines, or which cuisines, like, are you saying like Europe versus Middle East, or are you saying like
I'm saying regions.
like French food versus like Italian food versus like Thai food?
Yeah.
Versus,
Yeah, more like that. It's like I don't want to be like super specific
yeah,
because I don't really care for Ethiopian food.
you're wrong about that.
I'm not.
It's
I
delicious.
can promise you, I don't care about Ethiopian food.
You liked it when we had it.
No, it was.
You said you liked it.
Yeah, some of the meats was all right, but that
The meat's
soggy
way
ass
good.
sponge bread that they gave us was gross as shite.
I don't think the sponge bread is as bad as you're saying it is, but yeah, it's whatever. I
It
mean,
tastes like I
you
was eating
bring
like a
your own
styrofoam
naan, dude.
ball or something.
Fine, bring your own styrofoam ball and
Yeah.
just eat the delicious meats. The
Naan
meats are
breads.
so good, and the vegetables are so good.
Yeah.
Ethiopian's great. Okay, you don't have to rank it as like the best,
Yeah.
but we definitely have to. I mean, Ethiopian is so distinct from like.
No, yeah, they're definitely their own entry.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they can
okay.
be their
oh,
own
okay.
entry.
I
But
thought you
if you
saying
were-
they aren't their own entry.
No, I'm saying the different. If you were to be like, so do you prefer Ethiopian or Swahili? And I'd be like, I couldn't tell you the difference.
Yeah.
That's the level that I don't need to get down to. If you're
I
like,
see.
do you want Tex-Mex or Mex-Tex? I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know what.
No, I get you.
differentiates.
So, like,
Yeah.
for example, there's this economist that says, like, you should go for Pakistani food over Indian food because more people are likely to just be like, oh, I just want Indian than, like, oh, I just want Pakistani food. They're
Yeah.
very similar. Therefore, Pakistani food is likely to be better because it's likely to be more authentic because it's a smaller community. So, a good Pakistani place. And I think that's sound logic, but it's like,
Yeah,
do you
that
really need
makes
to rank?
sense.
You don't really need to consider Pakistani food as being separate from Indian food because it's very similar.
Right.
It's very
It's
similar.
like you go to Himalayan kitchen.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
exactly.
yeah, you're getting the same.
Yeah.
It's like maybe they prepared it a little differently or they swapped out one spice, but this is the same dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What's the best then?
So having said that, I mean, I don't know about best,
Mm-hmm.
but if we had to go with like one that I can't live without, I think Mexican is at the top of my freaking list.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think there's any way around it. If the world somehow was rid of tacos,
Uh-huh.
I'd be freaking pissed.
That is a very good and honorable pick. I don't know. I mean, I eat probably more Mexican food. Like, I don't know. The other question is, like, the stuff that you eat on a day-to-day basis, is that, like, American cuisine or is that no cuisine? Is that cuisineless?
I mean, what kind of foods? I mean, if you're talking about cereal, I think that's probably cuisineless.
Yeah, cereal.
Yeah, that's kind of cuisine.
What if you make, like, fried eggs? Is that cuisineless? If you make...
I don't know, because I feel like each culture does a fried egg. So I think it depends on how you prepare that fried egg.
But if you were just gonna like be like, oh man, I'm like, I've only got 5 minutes, but
Yeah.
I want something that's like somewhat healthy and freaking delicious.
Yeah, that's tough.
I'm gonna make a fried egg. I
Yeah.
feel like that's cuisineless,
Yeah, mostly.
unless you're Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. Yeah, Mexican food is up there. I mean, I think not Italian food, but just pizza as a subset.
Dude, pizza is definitely its own genre.
Yeah.
American pizza,
Yeah,
that's its own genre of food.
that's up there too.
Yeah.
And then next, I think it's got to be like sushi.
Really?
Yeah, I freaking love it, man. I would be sad if that was gone.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
if
be
you were
sad
just-
if all these things were gone, but they're
if-
not at the top of my list.
I mean, if somebody was like, no more Chinese food, I'd be like, all right.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't miss that much at all.
Kind of. So those of you who don't know, I have a stomach that is, and so I can't eat glutons, any wheat type product. So I love pizza. Pizza might be my favorite food.
Yeah.
I don't trust anybody who doesn't say that pizza is their favorite food or one of like in their top.
Yeah, dude.
5.
Trevor was telling me how his kids, not Waj Quab.
Okay.
Trevor and Natalie, they were saying how their kids, they were like, our kids aren't really into pizza, and I'm like, are your kids aliens?
Have they ever had good pizza? I mean, have they only had like homemade like hippie
even if
pizza
you haven't had good pizza,
Nah,
even
dude.
bad pizza is good.
Yeah, but what if you've only had like
Have you ever had a pizza Lunchable?
Yeah, but compare
it's garbage.
What if you'd only had a pizza Lunchable and you'd never have? I'd only ever had. The reason why I like a pizza Lunchable as a kid is because I know what pizza tastes like, and so eating a pizza Lunchable reminds me that pizza's delicious.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, man, because I'm like, dude, those things are little pieces of cardboard with ketchup and cheese on them, and I'd eat the poop out of them, man. They're so good, and I don't think it's because they're pizza.
I think like grocery store sushi. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially the older kind of stuff where it's like basically just like a California roll.
Yeah.
You know, so that doesn't taste like sushi really.
Yeah.
But it tastes close enough to sushi that it reminds me of how delicious sushi is.
Yeah, that's fair.
And so sometimes I like to eat those because it's like, oh yeah, sushi's good.
I feel that way about California rolls, even at the fanciest restaurant. If you go to,
I never get it. I never order them.
I don't either. But if I went to Japan and they were like, "Here's a California roll," I'd be like, "No thanks."
Yeah, dude.
I don't need that.
Yeah.
Where's the real ones at?
Dude, I'm in Japan. Give me.
Yeah, for real.
I don't want a California roll. I want a Japan roll.
Yeah. Whatever the California in Japan is, I want the Tokyo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, pizza really might be my favorite food of all time.
Yeah.
I love pizza, but I can't eat it anymore. And the longer I go with that, it's like if I'm never going to eat pizza again, or I'm only going to have like a handful of pizzas again for the rest of my life, when I decide to just deal with the suffering, then can they really be my favorite food?
I don't know.
I think you dealing with the suffering, even if it is just every once in a while, is proof that it is one of your favorite foods.
That's true, yeah.
What
That's
are you willing
true.
to sacrifice for this food?
Because like, what else will you do that for?
Honestly, bread plus butter. Really good bread with some butter on it is almost... the thing is, that by itself is like... So pizza, every now and then, I think it's just because there's like so much grease.
Yeah.
It just like doesn't cause as much trouble.
It's lubricated on the way out.
Maybe. But then if I have like bread and butter...
Yeah.
Dude, that is so good. With like it has like some garlic. But then, I don't know, it just, like, it will F me up. But that's really damn good. Hot dogs? Hamburgers? Hamburgers are so good.
Yeah, but if somebody was like, pizza or hamburger, I'd pick the pizza every time.
I would too.
Yeah, dude, pizza is amazing. But imagine just, like, basically like a Tasty Ace hamburger, okay? Like, that's one of the best foods in creation.
I mean, as sad as it is, I mean, I think American food, I mean, if you want to call it American or cuisineless food, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I feel like that would probably be in the top 5 too, because I'm like, dude, chicken tendies, that's got to be American. I'd eat the poop out of that.
Exactly, dude.
Nashville hot chicken. I mean, these are all fried chicken.
So fried chicken,
subspecies, but
hot dogs, corn dogs, pizza,
I've been
hamburgers.
I had to explain to Cayden, the over under for a hot dog for me is like 1 a year. That's it. I don't eat them much, and I don't need
good, dude.
I don't care for them that much. And if we're talking corn dogs, that's a different story, because corn dogs are freaking delicious.
Yeah,
hot dogs are a little bit less delicious, although I do love.
They are less delicious than corn dogs. But dude, you put some freaking relish on that bitch. You put
on a hot dog.
On a hot dog?
Yeah.
What else would you put relish on?
Nothing. Relish is disgusting.
You're disgusting, dude. Relish is good.
I don't put that on anything.
I don't even like pickles.
That's because you're disgusting. Dill pickles is tasty.
You like dill pickles, but you don't like relish?
Dude, have you ever had a hot chicken sandwich, like a Nashville?
Dude, relish is just pickles plus sugar.
That's why they're not good.
You're dumb, dude.
No. This is like being like, dude, salsa is just ketchup is just salsa with sugar. And it's like, yeah, and that makes it disgusting because ketchup is freaking gross. No, salsa is banging.
No. Ketchup is gross because they make it not from like salsa plus sugar. They bill it as salsa plus sugar, but it's actually corn syrup plus red. If you instead had salsa plus sugar, that shite would bang. Okay, it would hit.
Pass. There's your $1 billion idea.
Hits. That's true. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to put up a website today.
Sweet salsa. Yeah. They have that. It's called mango salsa, and it's caca.
Mango salsa is dog shit.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's not the
that's
same.
not the same as
because the original salsa of the mango salsa is not salsa.
exactly. You take just plain salsa,
Mm-hmm.
sprinkle in some sweet sugar leaven, and that'll be great.
Like it.
This is what we're doing. If we hit $50 a month on Patreon, we're gonna do
Yeah.
a salsa testing.
Oh yeah,
and we're gonna
dude.
get paste picante, and you can put all the sugar you want in that shite, and it'll still be
just a
disgusting.
little bit, dude.
It's
no,
delicious.
Not paste picante. You got to start with a good salsa. You add a little bit of good, it becomes more good.
Dude, I've been doing this since the dawn of time. Anytime we go to a Mexican restaurant, chips and salsa, sugar water.
That's because you're
Okay,
a child,
I'm-
not
yeah, I'm
because you're
definitely
not because you have a
second guessing
refined
myself.
palate.
I no longer believe what I said.
Ryan's like, I
believed 2
retract
minutes ago.
everything I've said.
I would like to issue a public apology.
Yeah. I feel like the only acceptable condiment on a hot dog is just yellow mustard.
Chili
No,
cheese.
Dijon mustard, baby.
Any kind of mustard. And it's just
Yellow mustard's kind of gross. Like
on a hot dog.
French's.
I mean, not.
French's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, I'd drink French's too. Mustard's mustard, baby.
No,
mustard
dude.
seeds is good.
Good mustard is good mustard. Bad mustard is all right in certain scenarios.
I think that all mustards, for the most part, are pretty good. There are definitely levels to that shite.
Yeah.
However, there has never been a good ketchup. All ketchup is freaking vile.
Yeah, ketchup is probably the grossest. Every now and then I like it with fries.
I
But it is
never reach for ketchup. If I need something to lubricate my fry, it's not ketchup.
It's the grossest
That ain't
condiment
it.
for sure. And sometimes it makes me gag.
I'm the same way with mayo.
Oh, mayo is disgusting.
You slather some of that shite on anything that I'm eating, and I'm boycotting
Ew.
it, dude. That's like people who are like, dude, I could pound some potato salad right now. I'm like,
Ugh.
but one, just a boiled potato is disgusting.
Yeah,
Two,
that's true.
mayonnaise is augmenting its disgust.
Yeah.
I don't want
It's
any
just
part of
two
that.
gross ingredients
Yeah, that's
put together.
so nasty.
Yeah.
And then they put some other gross shit
And then
in
they
there
always,
too.
they always put like raw onion in it.
Yeah.
And then they leave it out in the sun for an hour and a half before they serve it to you. And it's like, this is
the
like
hell?
AIDS City, man. I don't want any of that.
Raw onions, though, are kind of good.
Yeah, not when they've been left out.
True, but raw onions.
I read this-
made me start thinking about raw onions and how good they are.
I read this study about potato salad, no joke, and they were like, people often claim that it's the mayo in the potato salad that when it's left out, that's what gives you like the shites.
Yeah.
It's not that, because that's been pasteurized and
Yeah.
it's been rid
It's
of
not
all.
even actually a dairy product.
There's
anymore.
nothing perishable in there. Yeah,
Exactly,
There's, nothing,
yeah. It's
there's no
basically-
remnants of life in
It's
that.
basically just plaster of Paris.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they say
It
that the
smells
main
gross.
thing is the raw onion.
Really?
Because
That makes sense.
they said, I mean, this article that I was
Yeah.
reading, it was like, if you cut an onion open
Mhm.
and just put it in like a jar next to your bed, it will be like black overnight.
For sure.
Like they just get gross. They deteriorate into nothing
Yeah.
quickly.
Dude, have you ever cut? I mean, do you ever cut like a big onion in half because you're making like a small dish for like you or you and your wife or whatever?
Yeah.
And so you use half an onion,
And then you throw that other half
and
out.
then the other half. I don't know if you. My grandparents try to keep the other half of the onion, and it's like, dude, if you keep it for more than a day, it's
gone.
totally unusable.
It's gone. And then your whole house stinks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the onion, it smells weird, even if
Yep.
even if it's not black or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
That's
So
it.
back to the rank, I would say that because I've thought about this many times. This is one of the great questions I feel like of life to answer, and I think probably. I don't know. I go back and forth on this, but I think my top one is probably Indian food.
Yeah, Indian food's up there too.
It's either Indian food or like some kind of like delicious Asian fried rice with like eggy and pork
Yeah, fried rice.
and like
Freaking
onion and some
Dude, it just
a little bit
hits.
of garlic, a little bit of ginger.
Yeah.
It just hits.
You know
It
what doesn't
does.
hit though is when people put fish sauce in anything.
Dude.
Have you ever been around fish sauce?
Yeah.
It is the vilest liquid on the planet.
Wrong.
You open up the lid of that shite and that stink gets into your freaking soul. It is so
Yeah,
gross.
it does stink, but it's delicious. Dude, have you ever
Oh.
eaten fish sauce?
Yeah, we've tried cooking with it a number of times, and every time, and this is like, I mean, we started out with like the shite you get at a grocery store, and then we went
Yeah.
to like the Asian market that only has symbols on it that I don't know what it
Yeah,
says.
dude, remember when you and I spent like 8 hours one day just going to different grocery stores looking for fish sauce?
No, that was sesame oil, dude, and I still got that crap.
Now, sesame oil is easy to find.
No, this was like legit sesame oil.
Oh, was that it?
That's what I got. I don't know if you were looking for fish sauce because
I don't remember.
I
My
avoid
memory
that
don't
shit like
work.
the plague. But
Dude, fish sauce
sesame
is
oil,
banging.
like high quality sesame oil, is freaking
Mhm.
tasty. Fish sauce grosses me out, man.
Fish sauce. So I don't like the fishy. I don't like the fishiness.
Yeah.
I don't eat that much fish. I especially don't eat like salmon. I eat tilapia.
Dude, salmon's good. You're missing out.
It's all right. I'm just not a huge fan of like fishiness.
I don't think salmon's fishy.
Salmon's fishy.
If you eat it when it's like good,
With
Yeah,
Asian
like,
zing.
well, that's true of any fish. The fresher it is, the less fishy it
right?
is. But yeah, I
I'm
mean, you
not
can
eating
make
decroded fish carcass. I mean, if you're eating like a
Dude,
fish
I've
that's
had
fish,
good
that's
catfish.
equality.
I've had good fish.
That's what I'm saying.
There are lots
yeah.
of kinds of good fish, but what I'm saying is like it's just not my favorite flavor. It's like I'm not like I've had delicious green beans,
Yeah,
but green beans are my favorite vegetable. Whatever.
it should be.
No, dude. There are some weird though. You have some weird taste. Like you like cantaloupes and shite.
Not really. No.
You like cantaloupes and honeydews and
I mean, I'll eat one. I'm not seeking one out.
it's
Not a big
that's
fan
the
of cantaloupe.
grossest kind of food is a honeydew.
Is
A
that's the
honeydew-
grossest in the whole world?
Easily.
I think honeydew is better than cantaloupe.
I don't know. They're both disgusting ass.
I don't know, man.
Those are the worst foods.
That's not, dude. Dragon fruit is way worse than both.
I don't know what dragon fruit is.
Yeah,
That was disgusting.
I think it's that, and then
Have you
right
ever
above
had
that is
guava?
okra.
Ugh.
Guava is pretty freaking disgusting too. I'd rather have a cantaloupe than a guava.
I don't know. I think the worst is cantaloupe, and then right above cantaloupe is okra.
Is okra a fruit?
It's a vegetable.
Oh.
I'm just saying worst ingredients, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, anyway, so Indian food is way high up for me. Fried rice, Asian fried rice of various, because like I love Thai fried rice.
Thai fried rice is amazing. So is that like Japanese fried rice?
Japanese fried rice is amazing. Korean fried rice is amazing. The freaking Korean fried rice was like some Korean barbecue pork or beef with like a egg that's kind of runny cracked into that shite. Holy funk, that is so good.
I think egg yolk itself is one of the best ingredients.
Egg yolk is definitely
Yeah.
egg yolk might be the best ingredient because like it can take everything pretty much and make it better. It makes cakes better. It makes like it's used to make ice cream more delicious.
You put that shit on a hamburger, it's delicious.
But that shit on a hamburger is delicious. It makes rice more delicious.
You drink one raw.
Nah, I don't know about all that.
Raw eggs are not that bad. I think they've gotten a bad rep. They're actually not bad.
I've had it once.
I have an idea of what it tastes like, and I'm
Yeah.
certain that's what it tastes like, and I have no idea why I think that's.
I had it once.
Never had it?
No.
Let's have one right now.
You
But
ever
it's like
had
a-
cookie dough?
Yeah.
Imagine what's delicious about cookie dough
Uh huh.
and then subtract
All of it.
cookies from your mind.
Yeah.
It's freaking good.
I see.
Yeah. It tastes like. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So rice is up there for me. Pizza's up there for me. Indian food's up there for me. Not all Mexican food. I love tacos,
Yeah.
but it's not like I need burritos in my life.
Dude, all a burrito is a big ass taco
Not really, dude. They
with
have
all the
other-
accoutrement put inside.
Also, they sometimes have like potatoes in there. I don't really
No, that's
need
not-
potatoes in my
That's
shit.
not a Mexican. That's like Ecuadorian.
Okay, I'm sorry. When I should have clarified. I'm using this in a very racist way, which when I'm saying Mexican, what I mean is like south of the border.
Anything housed in a tortilla.
Yeah, any mestizo type food.
Yeah.
I think those are my main ones. I mean, I love Ethiopian. I love Korean food. I love freaking sushi so much.
All the time I think
I love
about
ramen. Holy shit, ramen is so good.
all the time I think about people. I mean, there have been times in my life where I'm like, who the freak who is like, I don't like food. And I have this idea in my head that there are people in the world who are like, yeah, I don't really like food.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think those people actually exist. But
They
if they
do, for
do,
sure.
I hate them.
No, they definitely exist. There are people out there who like, yeah, I'm just not that into music. And it's just like, I just don't know. It's hard for me to relate to that person as a
I
human
feel
being.
like those people exist because they haven't been exposed to it.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe my top pick is like Indian, followed closely by like eggy eggy goodness.
Yeah.
And that includes a tasty ace. That includes like a Korean kind of bowl of rice and meat.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite food?
I don't even know, man. My least favorite kind of food.
Or like ingredient?
Oh, I can get there pretty easy. So least foods that just freaking disgust me.
Mm-hmm.
Mayo disgusts me. Ketchup grosses me the freak out.
Yeah.
Cream cheese is nasty as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's flavored on a bagel.
Yeah, that's the only time that it's acceptable, is if it's been
That's the thing.
like.
All these things can be delicious ingredients.
See that? I don't know.
Ketchup is, I'm not so sure about, but you can definitely have mayo is in a lot of delicious things.
Yeah, I usually avoid them.
No, dude, like
chicken.
friggin' ranch. Mayo's in ranch.
Yeah, that's it.
That's true. The Costa Vida Ranch, that is heavy mayo.
Yeah, most ranches are.
Or like spicy mayo can be good as butt.
I don't like the spicy mayo. Cause
Really?
It's just too mayo, yeah.
Hmm.
I don't care how red you tint it with sriracha, it's still too mayo-y.
Some spicy mayo tastes like mayo. Some spicy mayo just doesn't taste anything like mayo to me.
Yeah. I always pick up the mayo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mayo's gross.
What else is nasty? I don't know, man. There's a lot of gross foods.
There are a lot of gross foods, but sometimes it's like, it's not actually the food that's gross. It's just like your exposure
preparation.
to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing is like there's just a bunch of dog shite food preparation in America.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like how many people are just eating McDonald's on a daily basis? And it's like Big Macs are just a mediocre food.
Yeah, Big Macs is tasty but pretty gross.
Not a big fan of turkey.
You don't like the turkey meat?
I mean, I don't hate it. Like, I'm not gonna turn it down, but
Are you
it's
saying like a flat like lunch meat, or are you saying like a Thanksgiving
like
turkey?
a Thanksgiving turkey. I'm not very big on those.
Wow.
I just
You've never had a good one.
Yeah, that's
why.
wrong to me.
I don't know.
You do like chicken though?
Oh yeah. Chicken's
That's
freaking
odd to me.
tasty as hell, but
It's
turkey's
not that odd. Turkey's so much harder to cook. Most people ruin it.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But a good turkey.
No, yeah, I agree. Good. I mean, good turkey's good, but
Mhm.
if all you've had is bad turkey,
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I just haven't had a good turkey, but
Dude, what are you guys doing for Thanksgiving?
we're going to freaking Colorado.
no.
My condolences.
Oh wait, no, yeah, on Thanksgiving Day, I
No.
think we'll be here.
Really?
Yeah, we're doing Thanksgiving early, I think, and then we'll be back for like Thanksgiving Day. So if you want
Hell yeah. I mean,
I think Brenton's
I'm planning on
Come-
making
or-
stuff and
someone is coming over. Shh. Bleep that out.
what? Oh,
to, you can say that.
he has a name.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah. So,
we can say people's first name.
yeah.
I guess if we don't, yeah.
But yeah, they're
I mean,
coming over.
We're Susan and I are making.
Is she coming out here?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and we're trying to like get my family to have something to do for Thanksgiving.
Nice.
But Thanksgiving is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I just like any excuse to eat food. Any holiday that's centered around food is good for me.
Dude, we talked about this a year ago on the podcast.
Really?
Yeah, we talked about, I don't know why I'm remembering this, but I can remember we were talking about how like, yeah, okay, fine. Genocide's bad.
Oh, I do.
We
remember
get
this.
it.
Yeah.
We get it. We whites should not have murdered all of the Indians in order to celebrate Thanksgiving. But now that they're already murdered,
And
might as well eat a bird.
I didn't do any of the murdering. Also, that's not why I Thanksgive.
Yeah, I know. I get it. That's
Yeah.
not why I Thanksgiving either.
Yeah.
I get that, like, you know, technically Christmas has some relation to Jesus. I think it's a similar relation.
Right. You don't have to be Christian
You
to
don't have to
celebrate
be Christian,
Christmas.
though, to celebrate Christmas. Because actually what Christmas is fun, stay home and give gifts day.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with Jesus.
Yeah.
But whatever, you know, some people don't want anything to do with Jesus, so
Yeah.
Whatever. People don't want to celebrate Christmas. That's fine. Christmas is still dope, though. Same thing with Thanksgiving. Look, I don't care what day we pick for the celebration of Bird Eat.
Yeah.
But Bird Eat is a hallowed, sacred tradition to my people, which are the people that like to eat delicious food.
Yeah. It's like, I don't care one bit about pilgrims.
Yeah, dude. Funk pilgrims.
What they did.
Pilgrims
it's like, I don't care about the freaking first supper they had.
I don't even care about Indians. It's like I don't care about anybody who's dead already, who died 1 billion years ago.
Yeah.
It's like it's sad for those people, and I don't want similar things to happen.
Yeah.
I just don't care about anybody who lived 200 freaking years ago, 300 years ago, 400 years ago.
Yeah.
That was their turn. Sucks to be them. Everything about their life probably sucked, though. But they also might as well be aliens. They didn't have air conditioners. They didn't have internet.
Yeah.
It's like what they have much more
How
in
do you
common
relate?
with cavemen than they do with me.
Yeah.
They're Amish.
Hell yeah.
Dude, even Amish people. It's like Amish people, that's the thing. The thing that's weird about being Amish is like you literally can't help. Like they can't help but be more informed than people were back then. They can't really keep that old way of living because the world is changing all the time.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, I just like it's like if you know everyone would be much happier if like we ate bird on like I don't know May like 24th.
Yeah.
Then fine. I don't know why it has to be in November.
Yeah.
I kind of like it being in November. It's like the pregame for Christmas.
Yeah.
It kind of is. I kind of don't like how close it is to because it's like those are two holidays that you travel for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I don't like that they're so close together.
Yeah, break it up.
True.
Like freaking first half, second half.
Yeah, like maybe put it around July 4th.
Right.
And
Combine.
And combine.
Then again, I'll take any excuse to not work and eat food.
Yeah, dude. I mean, just add more holidays. That's what I think.
Here's this is in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to get rid of one animal as a food source, what would you get rid of?
Oh, as a food source?
Yeah.
Wait, what the hell? So,
like Maine, because there's some obscure things I don't think many people eat.
So
fish,
pig
dude.
Pig is untouchable because
obviously it's the most delicious animal.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I love steak, I think I would put chicken above steak as far as like untouchable goes.
Well, so a better question is probably what would you keep first? It's like if you'd only keep one animal.
Yeah.
Then actually, because chicken is not my favorite meat.
But it's so versatile.
But it's so versatile and like eggs.
Eggs and fried.
Eggs and fried, dude.
There's no such thing as like cow tenders.
Exactly,
That's
dude.
damn show. And we're not eating cow wings. That's freaking real.
Yeah,
Chicken's
and
where it's
freaking
at,
like
man.
a deep fried, what is that called? A deep fried steak is not that good.
It's disgusting.
Really?
So, yeah,
Chicken
it's not
fried
that good,
steak, they're
dude.
dirty.
Oh, yeah, chicken fried steak.
It's like
So-
you gotta. I mean, chicken fried steak can't be good, but not as good as a chicken fried chicken.
And not as good as a steak fried steak.
Yeah, milk steak.
Yep. So, so I think like, yeah, pig is definitely the most delicious animal, but I might choose chicken first.
Right.
Just
Yeah,
because
pigs don't make eggs.
Pigs don't make eggs.
Or wings.
Pigs do make wings. I mean, you can basically do a wing from it's just a leg of a pig.
That's a big ass wing.
Yeah, dude, and
I've
I have
never
a
seen a
big ass
turkey wing.
stomach.
Yeah, I think bird is
Oh,
probably
man, I'm
up
so
there.
hungry.
Pig is up there. I think I'd put cow maybe next, and then I don't know what you call. I don't know if we want to just lump them into like the fluffies category, but like
Lamb,
goat,
sheep.
lamb,
Mhm.
sheep, all that crap. All of it's the same thing, and it's all tasty.
I mean, I think that I actually prefer the meat to beef.
Yeah.
I just I don't have it as much because it's just America.
Does because you were saying egg for chicken, right?
Yeah.
So does the milk from cow, does that affect anything?
Holy crap, you're right, dude. Cow is the number one. Cow is definitely the number one animal. I'm sorry, you're definitely right. I don't know why I'm such a fool. It's definitely number one cow, number two chicken.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, pigs. Like I would hate to lose pigs.
I think pig is the best meat, but they don't offer
It's
as
the
many.
most delicious meat.
Yeah,
But it's like
it's like chickens provide eggs, cows provide milk,
Yeah, and you can get fat. You can get butter from a cow, which makes up for some of the fat you'd be losing by losing lard from a cow.
I would like to have pig butter.
Yeah, dude, let's make
out
pig
of bacon
butter.
Grease.
That sounds gross as hell, but let's do it.
It's probably better than a cow
you
butter.
could milk a pig. Why couldn't you milk a pig?
Yeah.
Do you think they have good milk?
Probably not.
I feel like if they did, it would be like exposed to the world.
Camel milk. I mean, I don't know. This might not be totally legitimate. I've had something that was camel milk, and supposedly was a bad example of camel milk. It had some cool taste to it, but overall, it tasted like puke.
That's gross.
You know
now,
what?
But I was talking to this. I was talking to these Muslim dudes a few years ago, and they were like talking about how the camel is like the best animal.
Yeah.
They're saying that camel meat's great. Camel milk is like so delicious that you don't even have to sweeten it. And I was like, who are these people that are sweetening all their milk? But they're like, you can't. It is so delicious. You don't even have to sweeten it. It is so delicious. And then I was like, all right. And then they were like, and also like, a camel has the shame of sex.
What?
Where if a
What does
camel
that
is
mean?
having sex, it will hide itself so that you do not see it's naked.
They're always naked.
No, but it doesn't want you to see it's naked. Like, I think it means like see it, like, you know, when it's in dick mode. That's like when an animal's naked.
Got it. That's weird.
And it kind of does get more naked because, like, anyway.
Yeah.
You know what also tastes like shite? It's freaking coconut, like water.
Dude,
Yeah, that's
coconut
not
water
good.
is
That is
so
do
filthy.
people hype that up? And I'm like, that
Yeah,
is
it's not good.
no.
filthy.
People,
Oat milk, though? Oat milk is freaking delicious.
I haven't tried it, but I've heard that's really
Dude,
good.
please have oat chocolate milk.
I had almond milk.
Isn't it? It's kind of
Okay.
chunky, right? The
It's
oat
a
milk?
little bit, yeah, it's a little
Yeah.
bit thicker than
I've-
like almond milk. Almond milk, the problem with almond milk is it's so watery.
We're gonna have to freaking go get some fourth meal. This is making
Dude, I am
me
so
I am
hungry right now.
starving.
Holy shite.
We just
Also-
that
so-
bowl of mac and cheese was not enough.
I've been depressed as shite, and so I have not been eating. I just spent like all day not eating, and then at 11 p.m. I eat like 400 high chews.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it's like I just start. I don't even know. I'm not. It's like I'm sitting down, being like, I should eat 400 high chews.
Yeah.
What happens is, I have a high chew bag next to me, and then like I get done playing video games, and I realize there's a pile of wrappers next to my keyboard.
Yeah.
And I look in the bag, and there's nothing left in the bag. But now it's like I've worked through all my high chews and shit like that, and so I've just been eating like 12 eggs every night.
Hell yeah.
That's
And
sweet.
it's delicious. It's how I've been eating for a good portion of my life.
Yeah.
But it's like I am so like I was so stuffed just now
Yeah.
when we ate those freaking delicious taco meats that you made.
Lightweight.
I'm getting like weak, which is funny too, because it's funny that your capacity for eating food goes away before fat goes away.
It's weird how there's tons of crap like that. Like hot sauce, I'll be out of shape.
Yeah,
if I don't
dude.
if I don't smother my shite in
Yep.
hot sauce every day. If I take a weekend off, then I come back and I'm like, ooh, that's spicy.
Dude, I just had some Black Mamba the other day,
Yeah.
and
No
that
way.
shit wiped me out.
That stuff is death, man. No matter how in shape I am, dude, my nose turns into a freaking faucet and I'm sweating and shite. It's
This
delicious.
was like, because before it's like, oh man, like a couple drops of this are like intense.
Yeah.
But right now I had one little tiny drop just
Yeah.
to be like, how big of a poos am I right now?
Oh yeah.
The answer is I am a total 100% poos.
Do you still have it, Deej?
Hell yeah.
I wanted to try some the other day, but I didn't see it.
You're a weakling.
It's
How am I
so
a weakling?
delicious.
It'll.
Or I had like 4
It'll clean you
habanero
up.
chips.
I had it with you guys.
Oh man.
I know it'll be. Dude, I've been thinking. There's no freaking Trader Joe's around here because I want them ghost pepper chips and I need more green dragon
I should have
sauce.
just picked it up on the way here.
Oh yeah, I
I
forgot.
have a
you're-
Trader Joe's now in Porvo.
Yeah.
Wait, so what food could we get tonight? Dude, this should
Pizza.
just be a podcast where we talk about different foods that are delicious. So I think that
We need to start doing a tasting. That'll be the opening segment of each podcast. Is
Yeah.
a tasting of different foods.
oh
I've
yeah,
had
that'd be
this
good. Dude, we
before.
could do
Let's give it a
freaking
go.
that'd actually be a good segment to have because it's the one thing that I'm always motivated to spend time thinking about.
And that's one thing that our listeners would never get tired of. Just us being like,
That's true. No,
He loves
dude.
it.
No, I'm saying like reviews.
Yeah.
Okay, so like you guys just finished a large, double-blind, peer-reviewed study of different root beers. Which root beer is the most delicious?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, are you asking? Like,
Wait,
are you
no,
asking?
No, I'm saying like right now you guys can speak with confidence.
We
That's
can't
true.
though.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Deej
'Cause-
threw our whole test out
Yeah,
the window.
we erred. Our sample size was not large enough.
Are you serious?
We obtained everything that Harmon's had at the
Uh-huh.
ready.
Yeah.
When we were in Colorado a week or two ago, I went to the store called Rocket Fizz. They've got one in
yeah.
Vineyard, and they've got
Uh-huh.
one up at the Gateway Mall.
Uh-huh.
And it is like root beer emporium.
Yeah.
All they have is root beers. We got 24
Do they have
different kinds.
sarsaparillas?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We got 24 different kinds of root beer / sarsaparilla.
Don't they give you kind of long-term health problems if you eat sarsaparillas?
I don't know. I've never heard that.
Oh.
24 different kinds.
Yeah.
And I'd only had a few of them before. So there was probably 18 new kinds of root beer that I had.
Damn.
And one of them, I think, would be the freaking victor of this tournament because it was tasty.
Above Bombo Clot root beer or whatever that is?
Bundaberg?
Yeah.
No, above Dad's, above Bunda, above freaking everything. It's called Bulldog. If you ever have a chance to try Bulldog, get it.
Bulldog root beer.
Bulldog root beer, and let me know if it's good. Because I had it when I was freaking starving, and it was the
Yeah.
tastiest serum I've ever ingested.
Damn.
And I'm dying to get some more of it.
I will say, I think our test
Dying to have
method
cigarettes.
is the best because, like you guys were saying, you have that many root beers. They all kind of
That's
don't
the problem.
taste
Yeah,
as
they
good
taint
each
the
other.
one. Yeah.
So I think our head to head, we do 2, maybe 3 max
Yeah.
at a time, and I think that's the way to do it because then it doesn't taint.
There's this
The
brand
flavor.
called Virgil's.
Oh,
If you ever have the opportunity to get some,
done.
buy it
Die.
and throw it on the ground and just break it.
Nah,
it is raw. It's like freaking gasoline. It's
No,
so disgusting.
it's just not sweet. And so for a root beer float, it was perfect.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't perfect. They're
It was
better,
funky.
but it just wasn't as... It wasn't... Because the problem with a root beer float is that, like anything, I'm just a pussy now. And I can't eat stuff that's, too sweet.
The problem with
For
root beer
too long.
float is that it comes with a shite ton of foam,
Yeah, dude.
and that's the grossest thing.
You don't like foam?
No,
Why not?
because it's not good.
Dude, I like to eat foam.
I bet you do. I tell you what.
Foam blooded.
Foam is delicious.
I don't know.
Foam, all kinds. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do different fried chickens. We could just do reviews.
I think the two that you guys would be the best
Mhm.
at confidently debating, or I
Mhm.
guess saying, root beers and hot sauces. I think
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
be
hot
I
sauces.
think
sauces.
I
those
feel
would
like
be-
we have pretty much the same idea on hot sauces. The thing that I don't know, there are some areas where we disagree on foods. Most of
Yeah.
those are general categories.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of pineapple on pizza. Things like that.
Yeah.
But hot sauce, dude, it's
Yeah.
But also it's nowadays more people just eat good hot sauce than they used to.
Yeah. There's so
Everyone
many good
eats
hot sauces
sriracha
now.
now.
Yeah, sriracha didn't exist until 2005.
I know, and it's crazy that we found the very first place that ever had it.
We used to go. I told Shaylee about that the other day. I was like, we used to go to this gross ass Chinese restaurant just because they had sriracha.
What was it called again?
Bamboo Cafe.
Bamboo Cafe. I kept thinking Bombay Cafe.
No,
Bamboo Cafe.
Yeah, Bamboo Cafe.
Yeah, Bamboo Cafe, dude. And their orange chicken for some reason was red.
Yeah,
Remember that?
colorblind chicken.
And I used to on the way to work sometimes I'd stop at Bamboo Cafe, and I put that shot on my lap in the car, and I would have chopsticks in one hand in my left hand, and I would be driving with my right hand or with my knees,
Yeah.
and then I would just be and somehow I didn't get a ton of rice all over my car, but I remember having to pre-sriracha it to death
Yeah.
because I knew that I needed to have enough so that when I got to the lower layers that there would still be enough
Be acceptable.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, did you guys see the Hunter Biden?
No.
Dude, he's amazing. Well, I thought he was cool. Yeah. For a moment, I was like, because they had the leaks that like he just like smokes crack and stuff like that. It's like, can you imagine being the son of one of like the most powerful people in the United States and choosing to use that power and privilege to smoke crack?
I smoke crack.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's awesome, and that's the first thing about Biden that I've really liked. And then now they're saying he's a pedophile, so maybe I don't like him.
The kid?
Wait, yeah, I was going to say
Hunter is a pedophile?
Well, they're saying, I mean...
He a kid, too?
They're claiming that he's a pedophile.
Was he on Epstein Island?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think I think they're kind of different cliques.
Cliquet.
I think they're different clickways.
I see.
But yeah, dude, he freaking smokes crack, and he like... I mean, dude, the guy is wilding out all the time.
And he does stuff to children.
Well, I don't know if he does. I mean, they're saying that he does, but they haven't come out with the proof yet. But like, you know, and the places that are claiming that he did do it are like more
Trump
dubious. Camp. Yeah, it's like people who you're like not quite sure about, but
yeah.
But let's assume that he's not a pedophile for a second. Okay, this dude grew up in immense privilege and power. First off, his brother's wife dies. And like 3 months later, he hooks up with her. That's wild to me.
He hooked up with the brother's wife who just died?
So, freaking Joe Biden's son. Yeah. Joe Biden's son, Beau, died. And his widow, like 3 months later,
is banging
Hunter.
Her brother-in-law.
Yeah, the freaking levirate marriage or whatever from the Bible.
Yikes.
And then...
you should bang your brother's wife.
And then he like broke up with her. And then he like got like depressed and like smoked crack and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, he just seems cool. I like Hunter Biden.
Was he the one that got kicked out for crack?
Kicked out of what?
Kicked out of the military.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he did.
Or was that Beau?
I thought that Beau was like a war hero, whatever.
Then maybe it was Hunter. I just know one of them got kicked out of the military for cocaine.
Yeah, and I mean, he like Hunter then got some like cushy job from his dad in like Ukraine or Russia or whatever.
Yeah.
And he spent the whole time like partying and like hanging out with like Russian prostitutes and like doing crack. This guy's awesome.
Jeez.
He's living like a pretty cool life. And then like and then also like on top of all that, because I mean, can you imagine like the worst part of that would be like just like dealing with everybody thinking you're a scumbag. But like you see, then part of what got leaked was like the texts from his dad, and Joe Biden's all like, "I love you, my beautiful son." And he's like, "You're the coolest."
That's weird.
Nah, dude, it's cool for Hunter.
That's weird.
You think that's weird?
No, I mean his whole existence is weird.
It's very weird, but I mean, I'm just like, it's very funny.
Yeah.
It's funny, like Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah.
He's funny because he looks like he looks very aerodynamic. And
which one is he? Is he the one with like the dark hair and the beard, or is he the one that looks just like a tiny Donald?
Nah, he's the one with the dark hair and the beard, and then there's the blonde one that looks like he's like got some crazy congenital issues. But they both have very aerodynamic faces.
Do they?
Yeah, dude, they look weird. They're like, they just look like kind of weasel-like.
Weasel's moment.
Yeah, a weasel moment. a mongoose duration.
A meerkat duration. That's what it was.
Oh.
Huh. No. I don't keep up.
Prairie dog passage of time.
I don't keep up with most of this crap because it's all just riffraff.
It is just riffraff, but I was like, I didn't have any reason to like Joe Biden. I still don't really like him, but now I'm kind of like, well, that's kind of... Then Hunter Biden started getting criticized for smoking crack.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that's freaking sweet.
What else do you do when you're a freaking millionaire playboy?
I would assume they'd be like getting some kind of like high class cocaine and
playing polo
or whatever. But instead, he's like smoking crack and like playing Call of Duty.
Just getting down to it, man.
in Ukraine, making millions of dollars. I feel like that's a good way to deal with that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was funny to me. It's still funny. I hope he's not a pedophile. I'm not gonna like Joe Biden, but
yeah, I feel bad because that guy's got. I mean, the few brain cells he's got left, the few freaking synapses that are working. Mm-hmm. He's got them just working overtime trying to come up with Trump insults. And
I know, dude. It's
Hunter Biden
trying to
rebuttals.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that does suck. I don't believe he's as far along as I thought he was for a while.
Yeah.
Just because, like, the debates, he seemed to be just like a somewhat confused old person.
Yeah.
Instead of just being, like, totally lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's still a freaking nightmare. It is sad seeing this dude. It's like, dude, this guy had so much power and privilege over the course of his life. If he was even remotely smart about like his own self-interest, dude, he would just be freaking chilling out these last 10 years or whatever he's got left.
I don't get why anybody wants to be the president.
Dude, it would suck.
It would suck. They don't pay you enough.
Yeah. Well, it's not just pay, dude. I mean, because pay is like, once you're president, you can sell so many books.
Yeah.
So it's like you can make money,
right?
Basically, just like hiring a ghostwriter. And you can do like speaking engagements and charge more than anybody else.
Yeah.
So it's like the money part of it is like, yeah, you can make money, but there are easier and cheaper ways to make filthy amounts of money. And also, it's like, dude, I mean, you see people. It's like everyone I think has probably seen like the before and after presidency photos.
Oh yeah.
It's like, dude, these people are aging 20 years
in 4 years.
In 4 years, yeah.
Yeah. That's rough.
It is rough.
I don't think that would be a fun position to hold at all. Like, it's weird to me that this is like sought out after. I mean, I guess it's just like, politicians in general are jackasses, and they're the kinds of people who do want to run for president.
Yeah, dude.
But
dude, just imagine like the most like try-hard nerds that you know. And it's like, imagine if they became part of like a special strata of civilization,
right?
Where they only ever hung out with other try-hard nerds, and like they were the ones that made it.
I really don't get it. It's just a bizarre quest to have in your life, to be like, one day I'm gonna be president.
Would you ever want to have any other kind of like worldly power other than money?
No.
You wouldn't want any.
That's the only worldly power there is.
Nah.
I want to be the fastest man in the world.
That doesn't count.
That's world power.
That's that'd be cool.
That is the power in the world.
I want to be the most powerful fighter in the world.
I mean, like, my power level to be the first over 9,000.
You don't think like Usain Bolt feels any form of power knowing?
I'm sure he feels great about being the fastest dude or whatever. But
I think he feels more power from being filthy rich than he does knowing that he can outrun anybody in a 20-yard dash.
I'm not saying that speed is like the ultimate world power, but you said what other world powers? And I'm saying you don't think there would be some power.
I just wasn't thinking of that. Oh. And I was also thinking of like
worldly powers.
It is somehow like remotely plausible that you could get more worldly power. It's not plausible that you'd ever be the fastest person in the world, Cayden.
It is. If I really worked out and roided.
If you worked out and roided, there is exactly 0% chance you could make it to the Olympics.
Yes.
I don't think that's true.
Exactly.
It's 100%.
In fact, it's less than 0%.
In what time frame?
Any time
your
frame.
Entire life.
If you didn't age and you could continue to get better for 100 years,
you would not
make it.
The only time frame in which you could succeed is if you went back in time and altered your genetics to be that of a world-class athlete.
That's true. If you could throw in a couple like Nigerians, if you could be taller, if you could and also
I could make it to the Olympics.
No,
you couldn't.
It's like saying if you worked really hard, you could make it into the NBA.
No, I don't think so.
Do you have?
That's correct, but you couldn't make it into the Olympics as running either.
No, I'm saying I don't think
Correct.
that's the same thing.
It is.
It's definitely. In fact, in some ways, it'd be easier to get in the NBA than it would be to get into the Olympics because
I don't think so.
because there are so many different ways to be good at basketball. It's still limited. They're not, but there are so many different ways to be good at basketball. The only way to be good at running is to have a body that is freakishly designed to be perfect at this one thing, which is why you have like certain small areas that produce tons of runners, because it's not even enough to just be like extremely athletic or trained. It's like having the right limb length,
Right.
and it's like having the right lung size.
Like this is the same thing like with the NBA and how you've seen the evolution of the average like basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
How when Bill Russell was playing, there was a bunch of 5'10" white dudes,
Yeah.
and it's like as we have gone on, we have noticed the traits that stand out that make you better at certain things.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in like track. It's just like there are people who are built differently.
The other
that will
thing
exceed
is
these things.
track, even though there's less money in track in some ways is like the most competitive sport because it's literally
Everybody can run.
Everybody not only can run, but everybody has run at some point in their life if they're not like, handicapped from the start.
Yep.
And so if you are freakishly fast, you get put into track or some other professional sport.
Yep.
There is probably some argument to be made that like some of the freakishly fast people are getting sucked up into like football or other sports.
Right, because there's more money in that.
Right. Just like powerlifting, a lot of the best powerlifters end up in football, and so they never become pro powerlifters or whatever, because why would you want to be a pro powerlifter when you can make money?
Yeah.
But running is so much more generalized than even so. No, there is literally 0% chance that you could make it to the Olympics.
I think there's like a 2%.
Not as extremely bold.
I think there's a 2% chance that you could make it to like
State.
a Division I
Just
school.
kidding. Maybe like
I think it is much higher to make it to
no.
a Division
Okay, here
I
let's
school.
break this down. Okay, how many dudes were there in your high school class?
I don't know.
Roughly half of 2,000, so 1,000 people. How many of them were on the track team?
I don't know.
We'll say 100. That's
like-
10%.
Mm-hmm.
How many of them went D1?
I could have ran at CSUB, which is Division I.
Yet somehow you didn't.
Yeah, because I went on a mission.
Look, I don't think you understand how big 2% is.
Uh-huh.
Well, you just said that there was a 0% chance I could make it to Division I, and I just told you I could have.
Yeah.
Is there track team Division I?
Yes.
Anyway, I'm not going to claim that there's a 0% chance you can make Division I. There is absolutely a 0% chance you can make it to the Olympics. Okay, so what's the highest achievement that you ever made?
Look, that was my
running?
point is I think you are overestimating the percentages is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're saying 2% chance out of what? Out of all human beings? No, you're sorely mistaken because not 2% of all human beings make it to the Olympics, regardless of if they want to try or not. There's such a minuscule amount of people who make it. It's like the NBA. What is the percentage of 8 billion that is 439 players? That is less than 2%. That's less than like 0.2%. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. You're saying, a 2% chance. I'm like, no, it's much, much smaller than that.
I still think I have a 2% chance.
That you don't.
I do.
No. That's just not a realistic way of looking at the world.
You need to check the statistics, dude.
No. What's the highest achievement you ever made in track?
4th in state.
4th in state. Okay. How many states are there?
50.
Okay.
Okay, but
And
dude,
then, wait, hold on.
The first person in Montana would be like 50,000th in California.
No.
So you can't. Yes.
Okay, well, maybe that's true.
We're arguing different things,
The
Cayden.
top dude in Idaho is not going to be.
Look, I'm not saying you're not.
We're not arguing your capability
or whatever.
We're arguing
That is what you're
the
arguing.
statistics.
I'm arguing both. I'm saying you even if you have like okay, here's an example. Take Mikey. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Mikey is like at his peak strength.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to understand the difference in strength between somebody who's talented and has trained for years versus somebody who's untrained and untalented, which is most people, is so immense that he is a dramatically stronger person than like he's probably like 1 in 10,000 for strength. Okay, that's crazy. Do you know how good you have to be 1 in 10,000? You know what the possibility is of Mikey being a professional powerlifter? 0. It is 100% 0. He will never be a professional powerlifter. That's literally just not going to happen. And it would be mean to like try and convince one of your friends that they had the possibility of doing something like that if they had, and Mikey knows this. Powerlifting is so minuscule compared to running, and Mikey's performance is higher than what you've achieved in running. So it's like, you just got to understand, like, it's like, you know, it's like if your kid wanted to be like a professional musician or something like that, it's like, go ahead and encourage them to like get as good as possible at music. But you would be setting your kid up for failure if you told them to like plan on being like a famous pop star that was going to be like touring the world their whole life.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know that. I'm not dumb.
Well, I mean, that's the same kind of scale you're talking about.
Not really.
It really is.
Listen, okay, so I just Googled this. There were 14,000 athletes who competed in the Olympics in 2016.
Okay.
14,000. Mm-hmm. This is the percentage of people in the world who competed in the Olympics. 0.000000175% of the entire world population competed.
Okay.
And you're saying that you have, what is that, roughly 1 million times better chance than what actually happened?
Sure.
You think that's realistic?
An argument could be made for 1%.
I don't know.
I also think you guys are overestimating how much I think 2% is. 2% is a horrible fail. It means you didn't even come close. So to say I am 2% away from the Olympics, I'm not saying I'm 100% going to the Olympics. I'm not even saying I'm going to come close to going to the Olympics. I'm saying I have about a 1 to 2% chance. I have zero idea that I will go to the Olympics.
I know.
I'm just saying I have a 1%.
Chance, though, is
2% chance is so big, is what I'm saying.
It's a huge likelihood.
Not really.
This is missing a zero. My calculator won't go far enough to
turn it to the side.
Well, it's too late. But anyway, 0.6 zeros and then 175. And you're talking about being 2.0.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
I'm just trying to think of how many millions of times you would have to multiply this to get to 1.
I'll just carry the decimal over.
So I guess here's another here's a question. So there's 8 billion people in the
7
world.
places, so about 1 million times.
Okay, so you think you are 7 million times more likely than the average human of getting
into... So you're 1 in 7 million?
That's 1 million.
You're 1 in 7 million is what you're saying in terms of capability.
No.
Well, there you go. You're less than 1%. This is not to say that you're not fast
that
or
means
anything
you're very
like that.
fast.
I'm just saying 2% is such a huge percentage of the world population.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's that big.
It's so huge. It's like
turn this.
If you are insanely athletically talented and you don't have a sport, then you can get shuffled into running. So they always have a huge supply of runners to get pulled from.
Yeah, okay. But 2% of the world is 160 million people.
Okay. So I'd have to be faster than 160 million people.
You would, that's how.
Be in the top 160.
If the Olympics accepted 160 million people, then you would get in. The Olympics accept 14,000.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You need to be 1 million times better than what you're thinking you are.
I mean, With roids, I could do it.
No. Roids aren't going to do it, buddy.
Roids on the planet are going to do that, man.
There are a lot of people out there taking roids. You know how many people there are getting into the Olympics? I mean, because there are a ton of people out there who achieved a lot of things, like going up to like college. They get into college and they haven't taken steroids yet. And the likelihood, if you are a Division I athlete who's never taken steroids, that then decides to get on steroids, and the likelihood that you're going to go to the Olympics is functionally zero. If you're already a Division I athlete who decides to begin taking steroids, it's functionally zero. It's functionally the same.
There are almost 500,000 student athletes in the NCAA. Almost 500,000.
Yeah.
And this isn't exact because that's guys and girls and that's all sports, but out of that pool of 500,000, there are like 440 in the NBA. Do you see what I mean? Like those are the percentages we're talking about. And that's whittled down from 8 billion down to that 500,000 that make it into college. And then down to I'm just saying, 8 billion is a lot of people, and 2% is a lot of people out of that 8 billion.
8 billion is a bullshit number.
That's how many people live in the world.
Yeah, but an infant's not gonna go to the Olympics.
Okay, that's fair. I mean,
and people who are like half dead and like paralyzed.
Yeah,
okay, let's cut it down to 1 billion then.
Yeah,
that's 1/8 of the entire population is physically fit enough to go to the Olympics.
I mean, if you take that extremely small percentage and you multiply it by 800, you still have a 0% chance of going to the Olympics.
You would have to be in the top
0.00001% chance. So
which means you like. I mean, that if you're thinking of it in terms of there being a likelihood.
Yes, yeah, there is. It's not zero.
Yeah,
but as far as we can comprehend, it is zero.
Right,
but it's not zero.
If there were only 1 billion people,
in what way would it change anything about your behavior for there to be that small chance?
Huh?
Like, so I mean, what's the significance of that small chance to you? Because like technically, it's conceivable
that anybody could make it there.
That like tomorrow, someone could give me $6 billion for the experience or for the what we were talking about earlier in the podcast.
Yeah,
it's technically possible.
Yeah,
but obviously, it would be insane for me to plan my life as though the possibility was higher than 0% of that happening.
Right.
Yeah, which is why I've not banked on making it to the Olympics.
No, yeah, we get
sure.
that.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, like technically, there's some likelihood that my grandpa could make it into the Olympics.
Yeah.
It could happen. It's not technically literally impossible.
Yeah.
Right.
It's technically possible that like right now my atoms could magically rearrange themselves into the shape of a jaguar.
I don't think
and then
that
I could
is
just
possible.
prance home. No, it's possible.
Jesus turned water to wine.
Okay,
rearranging atoms.
Nobody knows that.
Okay, it's possible that like all of this is a simulation.
Alchemy, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible all of this is a simulation.
Yeah.
And like we're going to wake up in an hour from now and we're like 4,000-year-old slugs that dream in time.
Then my odds of making it to the Olympics would go up.
No, dude, because
there's no slugs in the Olympics.
Because the whole point of this simulation is to learn to accept that life is misery. So the whole point is to not make it to the Olympics.
There you go. If there were only 1 billion people who were physically fit enough to make it to the Olympics, and you're in the top 2%, and the Olympics accepted the top 2%, there would have to be 20 million people in the Olympics each year for you to make the cut.
Okay, I'll say this.
There's only 14,000.
I don't know if this will make you more happy or less happy, Cayden. I will say that if we were ranking the Goon Squad,
this will not make me more happy.
Just based on the fact that you're younger than everybody else, means that you are definitely the most likely to make it to the Olympics.
I think if we were all in our prime,
I was going to say
Cayden would be the fastest. I mean, as far as running goes, yeah, Cayden would smoke all of us in chances of getting to the Olympics.
Yeah.
Are we saying like in terms of capability or in terms of like what he actually did with it?
Both.
Yeah.
Cayden's fast as freak, dude.
He can't be that fast.
He'd smoke your ass.
Nah.
Yeah, Cayden's freaking fast, dude. I remember when Cayden would go down to Porvo and he'd ride the train back up. I remember just telling him, I'd be like, look, man, if shit happens, you got to understand you're probably faster than 95% of the human population.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So just run. If somebody's trying to like jump you, freaking run, because they're not going to catch you.
Yeah.
Unless they're like a college athlete, they're not going to catch you.
Yeah.
Unless they're an Olympian.
Right, and I stand by that. But
I would say there's at least a 2% chance I could beat Cayden in a race.
I'll give you a 2% chance.
At least.
I'll give you a 10% chance.
Hell yeah, dude. Because I just trip you, jump over your corpse.
I'd still catch you.
Nah.
No. Okay. Yeah, I agree, Cayden. You are exceptionally fast.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like, it literally doesn't matter. Even if like you were the fastest person I'd ever met in my life, we're talking about such huge numbers.
Such big numbers. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's the thing. It's like the reason why powerlifting is cool to me for a few reasons. The only reason I ever thought about competing is just because like it's such a small sport.
Yeah.
You know? That it's like, well, competing actually kind of, and also I think competition is a good thing to be a part of.
Yeah.
But it's like that's an area where you can actually like locally, on a local level or like on a state level, you can actually achieve like some level of something, even like as a 30-year-old man.
Yeah.
But I don't freaking know.
Big numbers, man.
The lesson is big numbers and don't have dreams. Those are the two lessons.
Yeah.
Again, I was never saying I'd make it to the Olympics.
No, I'm not saying that you believe that you were going to make it to the Olympics. I'm just saying act as though nothing good will ever happen to you.
What do you think I do?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm freaking hungry.
I am so freaking hungry.
We need more Patreon subscribers.
We do need more Patreon subscribers so that we can eat.
So that we can eat, because we can't.
We're on
eat
a hunger strike until that point.
Yeah.
Please save us. I had other notes. I don't think we have time to get to them.
You can cut some shite.
I was just thinking, first off, like, you had mentioned that System of a Down song, Toxicity.
Yeah.
So I re-listened to it.
Does he say something about seeds?
He does. You knew the exact line. It's
like
the seeds of our eating seeds is
a pastime activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, so I listened to like 30 seconds of the song, and I was like, and so is that.
It's
and
caca.
then you sent me the Puddle of Mud cover.
Yeah.
Vocal only, and it's like, holy crap! Like, at times I'm like, dude, I shouldn't be so hasty to dismiss other people's like preferences.
Because somehow System of a Down is rich.
Yeah, well, I'm just like, okay, well, you know, it's not like my preferences are right and everyone else is wrong.
Yeah.
And then I listen to that shit, and I'm like, no, everybody else sucks.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who knows anything that's good.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean anything I make is good. That just means that.
I had a very similar conversation with this dude on my mission. He was telling me about that Lil Wayne song. He's on this song. I don't even remember what the real song is, but he's on some remix of it, and he does some. It's like some slow ass, weak, whiny, like Jason Mraz or something. Like,
yeah.
What's that? Clay Aiken or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Lil Wayne jumps on this song, and his line that I always lolled at was, he says, "You weared my chain, you bared my name, and then we had champagne." And that's the last line of his rap. And I remember telling this guy, I'm like, this song is ass. Lil Wayne is so bad.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. And I'm like, yes, he is awful. And he's like, listen, not everything you like is good. And I was like, I mean, maybe technically, but I choose to only like good things most of the time. There are some bad things that I like, but I can tell you, liking something doesn't make it good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And me hating it doesn't make it bad. It was bad before I got there, and I just happen to not like bad things.
It's fun to
Here's
do
what it
bad
is.
things.
I admit that not everything that I like me liking something doesn't make something automatically good.
Right.
But everything that I don't like fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And that's 100% true.
Yeah. And it was like blowing this kid's mind because he's like, listen, you're not you're not the decider of like good and bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, dude, but my ears are. And I
Yeah.
can tell you this song sucks.
Yeah.
This guy is terrible.
Read your mind, see your mind, in your mind.
Peed your mind.
Peed your mind, fled your mind, now
Yeah.
I'm back in your mind.
It's going down.
Yeah.
Look, some people are just
See
blessed with ears to hear.
Right.
And eyes to see. Look, I don't really I'll admit it. Like when I look at when I'm watching a movie or like sometimes I'll like a shot, but for the most part, I don't really understand a lot of visual mediums that much.
Yeah.
I like things to be simple because my brain is just not that good at comprehending like visual art that well. So I just like things that are very simple. And you know, the things aesthetically that I like or whatever, but I don't have the right brain for that. And like colors, especially, it's like there are colors I like more than others, but for the most part, small differences in colors are very difficult for me to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
Different people are good at different things. I'm good at knowing what kind of music is crap,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I mean, you think about it and it's like, yeah, I may not be the one who decides what is good or what is bad, but it's like there is some objectivity to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure, yeah.
I may enjoy listening to that Fish Nala song where the
Yeah.
dude's rapping in Portuguese.
Yeah.
I may like that.
Yeah.
But if I played that for somebody, they'd be like, he's out of tune.
Right.
And it's like, this is like an objective thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the same thing. It's like, yeah, I don't like this song. That doesn't mean necessarily that it's good or bad. But I usually choose not to like bad songs.
Exactly. It's like, you know, I listen to Super Nintendo music and I get it. I'm an autistic, you know, weirdo or whatever. You know, I grew up in a basement. So I like Super Nintendo songs. I don't think that, I think some of them have like good melodies or whatever.
Yeah.
And so actually there's like something to it, but you know, I understand if people think they suck, they suck.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that I think that sucks that actually turned out to be good.
Yeah. This is like how I feel about movies.
Uh-huh.
Like when people ask me, they're like, "Oh, was it a good movie?"
Yeah.
I have such a hard time answering that question because I feel like it's a blending of two scales. Was
true,
it good and did I like it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, as far as like, I mean,
Yeah.
Dodgeball is not The Godfather.
Right, yeah.
It's not The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
But as far as me enjoying it, it's like a 10.
And there are other, like,
You know what
can
I
even
mean?
go further. It's like there are people out there who think like The Godfather and Shawshank Redemption, that's like basically just like popular trash movie. And that actually you should be watching like, you know.
These stupid ass indie movies that are in French.
And then there are people who think those are weak.
Yeah.
And you should actually be watching like 4 hours of like a flower wilting.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
with
art.
like blood dripping on it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, in the background, it's just like, you know, you hear like a man telling a story about like a, you know, a fish that died and came back to life. And so, you know, you can always get like further and further into like the snobbery dumb hole or whatever. Yeah, but I mean,
I feel
they
like
are
that's
two different things. Like, look, Godfather's a great movie, but there are parts of it that are just very boring. Alien and Aliens is a great example because Alien and Aliens are both good movies.
Alien
is
a better movie.
Aliens is
I'd rather
so
watch.
much better to watch. Yeah,
Exactly.
It's so much more fun.
That's so the same
it's
thing.
funnier.
I mean, I feel like that's the case with a lot of like sequels.
Yeah.
But I mean, just in general, and that's what bothers me is there's a lot of people who think that the second part, only the second scale matters. That they're like, was this good?
Yeah.
Did I like it? Ergo, it is good. And that's not how it works. These are two separate things, and you need to be able to. There's tons of movies that I like freaking, like just terrible, scary movies.
Yeah.
For the most part, they suck.
Yeah.
But I love them. Mm-hmm. What?
Tremors.
Tremors is good. Yeah.
Tremors is I mean, if you were to poll everybody,
sucks, but
Tremors is a terrible movie.
Yeah.
But it is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I know exactly what you mean.
And so it's like I wish that more people understood that and like thought that before they gave their opinions on stuff.
But you can tell, dude. Like, what does the scripture say? It says something about like you recognize truth because they speak with authority or whatever. I feel that all the time. Like when it comes to music or movies, I feel like there's so many movies that people do what we're talking about backwards. So it's like I only choose to like things that are good. Yeah. I don't like food that's delicious, and I don't like things that are bad, or whatever. So then it's like there are people that like I think want to do the same thing, partly because it's like a social status thing where, like, if you have good taste, then like people respect that on some level.
Yeah.
And some people are not born with great taste.
Yeah.
Well, and you also, like your taste in something evolves as you know more about the medium or whatever, right? It's like if you've only seen like 5 movies, you're not going to understand what's a good movie as well as like, someone who's seen like 1,000 movies.
Yeah.
But dude, there are people that just want to lie to themselves about what's good.
Right.
And I think that's where Lil Wayne comes from. And that's where a lot of like this crappy indie music comes from. It's actually, they present themselves as though they're at odds with one another. But it's the same thing. Yeah. They're only liking the music that they like because it's a way of signifying to other people that they're people who know what's cool.
Right. I am well tasted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When in reality,
I mean, Shaylee's like this sometimes. She'll be like, I don't like Little Caesars. And I'm like, you don't like the idea of it. It tastes delicious.
Okay.
But you're saying you don't like it because it's a crappy pizza. But it is still delicious. Or like a Jack in the Box taco.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't like that. And it's like, you think it's delicious.
Yeah.
But for some reason, being able to see through it because it's so greasy makes you not like it. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm fine if you tell me you don't like it, but don't tell me it's not delicious.
Dude, this is, I was talking to someone this week that was like explaining to me that there are differences between men and women. Like women have more white matter and men have more gray matter. And that means that like women, that's the reason why women can remember things better. And because like white matters for remembering and gray matters for like thinking deep or whatever. And so I was asking her, I was like, so does that mean that like the reason I can't remember things is because I'm too smart?
I'm too smart to remember stuff.
So I don't really believe in that, but what I do believe in, the one gender difference in brains that I believe in, and I want to do like a study to see, like to test trans people. A trans woman, do they enjoy Little Caesars? A trans man, do they enjoy Little Caesars? Mm-hmm. If a trans man likes Little Caesars, he's a man. If a trans woman doesn't like Little Caesars, that is a bona fide woman.
That's the differentiator.
Yeah. If you're a trans woman and you still like Little Caesars, I mean, that's probably just me being transphobic, but that's an area where it's like it might be time for some, deeper self-introspection. Because I've never met a woman who likes Little Caesars, and I've met very few men who don't like Little Caesars.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the few real deep biological gender differences.
I think that's just part of like being woke, is being able to understand.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a pizza made of cardboard, but
delicious
it tastes
cardboard.
Freaking delicious.
There's delicious kinds of cardboard. Right. Oh, that's what I was going to say about authority. It's like I don't feel the need to like impress anybody with what stuff I like. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, on the one hand, there are some like, artsy fartsy movies that I like. But then on the other hand, it's like, I like Dragon Ball Z.
Hell yeah.
And when I tell people that, Dragon Ball Z is not like, it's not even like, saying it's not highfalutin doesn't express the point well enough. It's not even lowfalutin. But it's freaking sweet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, Dragon Balls.
And I think once you just accept that, like, once you know that your taste is good enough where you can just like what you like.
Yeah.
And that's even like, I mean, it bothers me less when somebody just is like confident in liking something that I don't even agree with them.
See, I was just about to say that, because it's like, it's annoying as shite when you argue with someone and you're like, this sounds like garbage, and they're like, no, dude, this is so good.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't tell me that. Just tell me that you like it.
Right.
Because I can't disagree with you. That's fine. You like it. That's good.
Yeah.
But don't tell me that it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because that you can debate.
Right.
And that's, I don't know.
Yeah.
That'll be like Cayden. He'll be like, hey, listen to this new rapper. And I'm like, okay. And I listen to it, and I'm like, it all sounds the same. And he's like, yeah, but I like this one. I'm like, that's fine. Yeah, you go ahead and like it. But then when he's like, listen to this one, it's good. And I'm like, no, that one really wasn't good. And then it's like,
yeah.
And then it's like a fight, because it's like you're arguing about what's good. And it's like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess this is debatable. If you told me I freaking love this song, I'd be like, that's cool. I mean, go nuts. Like it.
Yep.
There's tons of crap that I like that's dumb as hell. But
yeah, for sure.
I think more lately, though, I've been doing like than good.
Right, and that's acceptable. That's fine. I mean, that doesn't bother me at all. If somebody's like, dude, I really like this song, I'd be like, okay, cool. I mean, I'm happy that you enjoy something. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's so much more pushy to be like, this song is good. And it's like, no.
I feel that, but also at the same time, I do that to other people all the time.
Yeah?
Yeah, all the time. Like, I totally agree with you but I'm just completely hypocritical about it.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like,
no, I know.
No,
too.
this
That's
is
what
good.
I was saying 5 minutes ago, because I'm like, this song is not good.
Right. This is good. This is not good. And you just need to understand what that is.
Yeah.
There are good things that I don't like.
Yeah.
All over the place.
Yeah, and that's why I think there's two different scales.
Yeah.
There are things that are good,
mm-hmm.
and there are things that you like. And and everything is on a spectrum of both of those things.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, dude, that's what we're going to do to get rich. We're going to make a Rotten Tomatoes that doesn't suck, and it's going to have two numbers, and maybe it'll blend it.
Yeah, what about fresh tomatoes, bitch?
Yeah, for freaking real. Or salsa.
What about better
just
vegetable?
salsa? Sweet salsa.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to call our freaking shite.
Sugar salsa.
Sugar salsa.
And spicy salsa.
Uh-huh.
One is
and
like.
that'll be
Yeah.
The sugar one is the lycometer, and the spicy one is the goodometer.
Yeah.
For freaking real, dude.
There it is.
Who has ever in their life wanted a rotten tomato?
The people throw crap on stage when your movie sucks.
No, I want a fresh one because it hurts.
Splat.
Yeah.
Okay,
Rotten tomatoes got no velocity.
True. I would say there's like a 2% chance.
You get your arm strength up, homie.
Wait, so real quick, I was gonna do like top stand-up comedians, but
Next time.
maybe next time. I also don't think you guys like
care
as much. But something that I know you care about, Austin. I don't know if you care about this, Cayden. I think we could make a quick ranking of like top talk show hosts.
Top talk show host.
I don't know why this is a subject I'm very passionate about. So it's like, for example, okay, Jimmy Fallon sucks.
Indeed.
Jimmy Fallon is garbage.
Oh, okay. I forget a lot of times who's who.
Jimmy Kimmel's mean tweets.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon is, I laugh at my guests.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones telling the jokes.
He's also ugly.
He does have a face that bothers me for
Yeah.
some reason. He has got like a Tim Curry kind of face.
Face worth punching.
But it's also, the weird thing is like Jimmy Fallon actually has been funny at times in his life.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the funniest talk show host by far. He's not that good. But he's actually kind of a funny person. But the way that his talk show is set up, it both like, he's not the funniest one, and also it doesn't even make the most of the humor that he does have. Because it's just like sing-song, feel-good bullshit.
I feel like his show is set up so that the guest tells the jokes and then he laughs at them.
Right.
And it should be the other way around. It's like, you're the comedian, you're the host, you gotta like own this conversation and steer it towards the jokes that your staff has written for you.
And see, that's the bigger payoff. Like when you have like a really funny talk show host, like Letterman, and when Letterman can't talk because he's genuinely can't like stop laughing, or like Conan. Yeah. Conan's a weird guy. He's not my favorite one. He's really funny sometimes. But when Conan like he can't stop laughing because Bill Burr or Norm Macdonald says something that makes him genuinely just like laugh so hard that he can't breathe. It also is a much more enjoyable thing than like seeing the same thing with Jimmy Fallon, where he has that response to someone coming in and being like, "Hey Jimmy, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Like, "Hey, what's up? My name is Ryan."
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
I attended a funeral last week.
Yeah, I hate
Shut
it.
the freak up, Fallon.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, I don't know what counts as a talk show host.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, would you count Joe Rogan?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Does he count?
because-
Because he's basically
know.
like a talk show
Yeah.
that he releases.
I, mean,
the
I
audio.
guess maybe
If you don't
that
want to
should
include, that's
count.
fine. But I'm saying he
I wasn't
kinda fits
thinking of
the
him.
criteria. I feel like.
Because right now, I mean, I'm sort of mixed on this, but I think my top one is Letterman. And if I include Joe Rogan, I still think I would have to say Letterman. I mean, Joe Rogan has the benefit of a format that I prefer.
I think
Which
Joe
is like
Rogan
a long,
is,
freewheeling conversation.
right. I was gonna say I think Joe Rogan is a better interviewer
Yeah.
in terms of like just letting a conversation flow.
Yeah.
But David Letterman is freaking hilarious.
I feel like he's not a talk show host. I feel like Joe Rogan is more a descendant of like 60 Minutes. You know?
Yeah.
And those kind of like, or like Larry King. More than like, you know, because like what Letterman's doing is different. You know what I mean? Like a late night talk show.
Yeah. Very targeted questions.
Yeah. Or like, you know, it's like a combination like interview and like comedy show.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan is pretty freaking funny, but I just like I like the format. I don't think he's hilarious. Letterman is hilarious.
Yeah.
Kimmel can be.
I like Jimmy Kimmel most of the time.
I like Jimmy Kimmel. Jay Leno could be a funny person, but I hated his show.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He's annoying to me.
Yeah.
He
wasn't that
just
good.
annoys me.
Rosie O'Donnell's disgusting. Jerry Springer was a good talk show host.
I like
Jerry
the.
Springer's freaking sweet.
Oh
Jerry
shoot!
Springer was like governor of Missouri or some shite.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, let me look him up. He held some kind of office, and it was not
The
nothing.
freak.
Yeah.
Ellen.
Or maybe he was like mayor of Cincinnati or something.
Ellen is the worst.
Yeah, she's kind of the devil now.
Yeah,
I hate
she
Ellen.
is.
I've always hated her.
All throughout COVID, it's just been story
Oh,
after
there-
story breaking of how she's like the worst person on the planet.
Jerry Springer was the 56th mayor of Cincinnati from January 1st, 1977 to January 1st, 1978.
That's crazy, dude.
So I guess he wasn't as high up as I thought.
That's so crazy.
Mayor.
Nah, dude. So like Ellen. It's like people now are giving her flack because it's like, oh, it turns out she's mean, as if you couldn't tell from her
She's always kind of been that way.
piece of shite show that she like doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
When she like has like all this like dancing, she has like Hillary Clinton on and they like dance together, and they have like some kid from like a viral YouTube video where they held a puppy come out, and she's like, we're gonna give you 4,000 pink bows, LOL. It's like, okay, you know this person doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like Jon Stewart.
Yeah, Jon Stewart was
Jon
all right.
Stewart was good when he was on the Daily Show.
Yeah, I don't
He's
think it
gotten
was
weird now.
I don't think. Yeah,
Yeah.
he has. He's gotten way more like hippie and like
He is
fake
really
woke.
hung up on 9/11.
He really is. Look, and I get it. Like, it does suck.
Yes, I mean, yeah. If you're from New York and that's your city, that's your people, I get that.
Well, and what sucks is like how like, you know, all these people from like all the like crap in the rubble and everything
yeah.
had these long-term health problems. But it's like, I mean, just in terms of like number of people that affected, there's so many issues that we could spend all that money on,
Yeah.
like helping people not die.
Yeah.
What if you spent all that time trying to convince people that war should be avoided in the first place?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jon Stewart's all right. I mean, I don't think The Daily Show is as funny as everybody made it out to be. I just think that Jon Stewart himself is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that he still did more stand-up. Have you seen any of his new stuff? Because I know he goes on tour sometimes.
I haven't. No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I used to really, really hate Conan, and I never really watched him. I just kind of
Yeah.
hated him. But I've like in YouTube, I've seen like a lot of his clips.
Yeah.
And I actually think he's pretty funny.
He's
Yeah,
a
he's
funny
not
guy.
bad.
He's just very
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah. And I think that's probably why I hated him, because
Yeah.
it was before I had really watched any of his stuff.
And
But
he's
then-
taller than me. I hate him for that too.
Dude, he's just a corn dork. He's an ultimate
Yeah.
corn dork who's 8 feet tall, albino.
Red hair.
Yep.
Yeah, but I do think he can be pretty funny.
The other thing I like about Conan is like because like for a long time there were like all the standard interviews that people would do,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was him, and then who's the Scottish guy?
Craig Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Yeah.
So like Craig Ferguson and Conan would always get more different interviews. So I liked watching Letterman, but then if I was going to watch like another one, I'd watch like either Conan or Craig Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
Watching Craig Ferguson flirt with women is
Craig Ferguson
fantastic.
Is the kind of dude who looks like he's just always hammered.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, he is, but
Well, he was.
his face, he just looks like he's drunk. Even if he was 100% sober, I'd be like, this dude's freaking wasted.
For sure. I think he just kind of like got too drunk and then so he like went sober.
Yeah.
But I wonder if part of what enabled him
face
to be
never dried
sober.
out.
Yeah, I just don't. I think he's still drying out from his last one.
Yeah.
So he hasn't really entered the final test yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's funny. I also like people who actually are quick on their feet. You know what I mean?
Like nimble.
Yeah.
Like
Nimbly bimbly.
Yeah, like an athlete.
Like 2%.
Like more than 2%.
Stepping into tires and shite on a football field.
Dude, for real, I think like being able to talk well and being able to say funny, smart things is so much more impressive than any like Olympic athlete achievement. And that's not anything like, that's not real probably. That's just like because of my priorities being wrong.
That's a like, not a good.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I will say that somebody who's quick on their feet, I feel like they have to like undoubtedly be smarter than people who are not. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the same thing with people with a sense of humor. I feel like a lot of people who don't have a sense of humor just aren't smart enough to comprehend the humor that's being tossed at them.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with people who are quick on their feet, being able to like make a joke in a situation.
The weird thing is though, like I always assumed like, oh, I got like a certain level of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, okay, well, as I get older, I'm going to get smarter and that's going to make me like more funny.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened instead is like the more I learned, the dumber I've gotten and the less funny I've been as a result.
Yeah. I always wonder what it was like for people who grew up in a house where their dad wasn't funny.
Yeah, that is a good question. I mean, like my dad was always funny.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, I mean, I guess people can still like kind of laugh.
Is there some kind of
somebody
bias?
funny.
Is there like a child bias where you're just like, my dad's my dad, so he's funny? But there are certainly dads who are not funny. And I want to talk to the children who grew up in those houses.
I mean, your dad is funnier than my dad.
I was going to say, like, Ryan wouldn't have that bias because he wasn't.
Dude, my dad was freaking hilarious.
Ryan's out.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm saying Ryan wouldn't have that bias for, like, our dad. So he
Yeah.
could say whether or not we're being biased.
Right, but if we're polling people, we'd have to pull them off of their...
It's too hard. I mean,
Firsthand.
plus we just spent too much of our childhoods around each other's dads.
at the same time.
It's like, so your dad is funny to me, but also I was like in a very formative period
Yeah.
when I met your dad.
There are dads that I'm sure you don't think are funny.
Oh yeah, dude. There are a ton of people that aren't funny.
Shaq's dad.
I didn't
Shout him
wanna-
out.
I was going to
okay,
name
but
drop,
here's the thing, dude. But even then, it's like, because this is something I've learned about myself over time is like, really, that's like the thing I care about most in this world. Like, I love my kids, but it's like the trait that I want to see them maximize the most is I'd rather see them be funny than just about anything else.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want like it
important.
have some like dull kid. That's not necessarily. I don't. You know, if my kid like couldn't feel love or whatever, that would be worse, I guess. But
Yeah.
but you know, it's like I want them to be funny, and I want them to know what's funny in the world. And so I can kind of forgive someone on some level if they're funny, even if like they've done things that I don't like or if I don't like them in other ways.
Yeah.
And some of that is like I've learned to find people funny and like funnier the older I've gotten, for even when they're not intending to be funny, and that's
Yeah.
made me like them more. And like Shaq's dad, I mean Shaq's dad is somebody I have a totally like negative relationship with. There's like two-sided animosity. I don't know how he feels about me in his heart of hearts, but like every time we get together, like I just like can't stand the guy, and we spend the whole time arguing, including at Brenton's wedding.
That was the greatest thing I'd ever seen.
And it's like the last time I'd seen him before that, I think we just spent the whole time arguing. And I go over to Shaq's house and just argue with his dad. So it's not like I like the guy. But I also think like he's funny because not on purpose, but he
Yeah,
just
that's
like
what I'm saying.
comically He's like comically lame.
Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about
You
the
know what I mean?
people. I want to talk to those kids where it's like,
Uh-huh.
my dad was not funny. I mean, he's a jackass, and I can kind of laugh at him.
Yeah.
Those aren't the people
Yeah.
that I'm talking about. Those are the ones that I want
Uh-huh.
to be like, what was it like?
I don't really know if there's that big of a difference.
I think there is.
I used to
Yeah.
think there is, but now the more I think about it, like,
Laughing at somebody because they're dumb or because
Uh-huh.
they're worthy of ridicule is not the same thing as laughing at somebody because
not.
they made a joke.
but the more I learn about it, and the more that I learn about the feeling that I have of like what I find funny, the less of the differences have blurred over the years.
Yeah.
And but yeah, okay, there is a difference. The thing that's weird to me is that Shaq turned out to be a funny person.
Yeah.
That's because he spent time with you guys. If anything, more so
Maybe.
than his dad.
But he also was like a funny person. Like he was funny when we met him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like some people are just funny.
Yeah.
Some people are just born funnier than other people. And it's like a combination of like qualities,
Yeah.
you know? I don't know. But I mean, I would say that like that is probably the most important feature that a father can have.
Yeah. It's way better than them loving you.
I mean,
They're funny.
it's like it's like what do I like versus what's good.
Exactly.
What I like is funny.
Right.
What's good is to love.
Yeah. I guess.
I guess.
Allegedly.
But I like I watch Aliens more than I watch Alien.
True that.
I think Breaking Bad is the best show, but it's not my favorite show.
See, that's the thing about True Detective season 1.
It's
True
both
Detective
for you.
season
It's
1
high up on both.
Yeah,
is high up in both.
it is.
It's both very good, and it's very funny. It's funny both in terms of like laughing with the humor of the story, and it's also it's funny to laugh at the corn dorkery of it.
Mostly just Woody Harrelson's
Yeah.
drawl.
Or like freaking like
How's that?
Matthew
What the
McConaughey
freak
is
did
just
you
like
say?
try hard, like, you know, I'm too edgy and too deep for
Yeah.
you. Like, it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The dual scale system. We're gonna patent that and put that on
Yeah.
the website.
I'm telling you, you should start like a Rotten Tomato or no.
We
Yeah,
need to
I'll
start
do it,
putting this
dude.
on on our website and have it for
Yeah.
each
Yeah.
podcast.
all right.
How
yeah,
good
let's
was
do
this
it.
podcast? How much did you like it?
Yeah.
True, that's true.
That's what
Yeah,
need.
we should have like ratings for each episode.
The fresh salsa rating.
Yeah.
Fresh salsa.
And what we'll do is we'll just go in and manually delete all the negative entries.
Yeah.
So people will be like, damn, these people love these.
This is
Yeah.
both.
I'll
This
leave
is
in, like-
True Detective season 1.
Yeah, I'll
it's,
leave
it's
in,
for subscribers only.
I'll leave in 1 or 2 negative ones just to make it seem plausible. But it'll be like, oh yeah, 80, you know, because it's like North Korea.
Yeah.
Okay, does anybody believe that 100% of people voted for this guy?
Right.
You know, if it was like 92%, I'd be like, damn, this guy is very, very
Yeah.
popular. Or at least it'd be like in the realm of, but it's like, okay, 100% of people liked him?
Nah.
I don't think so. I've seen how politics works.
Yeah. This is gonna be a exclusive feature to just our patrons.
Just Patreon subscribers.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're just going to delete like half of the negative votes.
You should, and the ones you should leave in. I don't know if you've seen these on like Amazon, like product reviews, but it'll be like 1 out of 5 stars, and the review will be like, "I love this product. It's absolutely amazing. The package had a sticker I wasn't a fan of. 1 out of 5 stars."
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, what the?
True. Well, for that one, I would just be like, oh, this one was clearly a typo, and I just change it to 5 stars.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about owning the system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we could do that. I feel like, okay, here are my thoughts, and then we should wrap this up.
And get food.
Yeah, possibly, but it's also late. We should have reviews, the ability for people to review our episodes to figure out which ones are good. Also, like what segments are good. This is actually a real thing. Any of you folks who listen, please reach out to us. rosedaliapodcast@gmail.com, or if you just know us, then just like hit us up. Which segments are actually funny? I know that many of you, any of my friends, like I've been answering Trevor's texts because he asks me to help him with things as a ruse to get me to go outside of my house, and then I hang out with the Goon Squad to do podcast. Some of you might not think that I'm going to respond because I don't respond to any of your other texts, But if you send me stuff about the podcast, I will.
It's like we're gonna have it. It's gonna be the link in our bio next to like our OnlyFans page, and it'll say, DM for business inquiries only.
DM for business inquiries.
Exactly.
So which means like, you know, if you want to buy feet pics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But our feet pics is which feet from each episode was good.
So what we need, because what we need to do is some behind the scenes action. We need to like make clips of which of the episodes, what part is like the most entertaining. We have to do that to get clickbaits.
We got to start doing.
So tell us what segments are good.
We got to start doing timestamps, which I mean I can do for you if you want.
I started doing it on the last one, and
really?
then like halfway through, I was like, "Nah, this sucks. I'm
really?
just gonna put it out." Yeah.
I mean, if you want, like, you can put it out, and then when I listen to it, I can just comment the timestamps.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. But then you'll get all the upvotes. I want to keep the upvotes for myself.
Well, I mean,
no, I'm just kidding.
I mean, I can send it to you, and you can just do it. You can comment on.
Yeah,
the
no,
podcast
I'm kidding. I'll send you if I do any timestamps while I'm editing the shit. Although I've just decided not to edit these anymore, unless I have to. So yeah, please do that. Please like and subscribe, dude. If you're listening to this and you haven't subscribed on some platform, you haven't given us 5 stars, and you're not paying us any money, you haven't done something to promote the podcast, then you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Also, if you are doing any of those things and you haven't been shouted out or at least invited to come on the podcast, do that same email address that Ryan gave out a minute ago.
Rosedalia Podcast.
And if you don't suck,
gmail.com.
you might receive an invitation.
Yeah.
True. Dude, also, yeah, we really just gotta do credits or something. Then what else? Yeah, we're on YouTube now. Every morning I'm doing a news stream. Most evenings I'm doing like a little bit of like Warzone stream. But the morning news stream at 9 a.m., we're getting more viewers all the time on average.
Really?
Yeah.
Like on a consistent?
It's not like even.
Uh-huh.
But
you're on
the week by week average, yeah.
Oh.
The 7-day rolling average is consistently increasing. It's still they're pretty small numbers.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if that's part of why we have a bunch of people listening to the podcast.
That's
I
true.
don't know. I don't know why. I don't know how people are finding out about the podcast.
You need to pull up like how I mean, I don't know if all YouTubers do this, but all the gamer YouTubers I watch, they'll be like 72% of you are not subscribed who watch this video.
Yeah.
Please subscribe. You should pull that up.
Dude, for sure. If you did find out about our podcast and you don't know us, i.e. Jeremy, i.e. freaking
Humphrey Bogart.
Humphrey Bogart. Please,
Wendell
I would
Here.
love to know. Don't be Wendell Here's got to be something we know.
Unless they're just listening to this.
Please just let us know how the freak you found out about this.
Yeah.
Like,
That'd be sweet.
It would be good to know how to grow the podcast.
I don't have any interest in growing it. I'm just curious how the freak you found me if we're not doing anything to grow the podcast.
I have an interest in. I don't want to like solicit anyone. I just want to like, if there's something that we can be doing to like that like enables people to find out about the podcast, then I just feel like we should do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you tell us how, I'll give you a follow on Twitter.
If you tell us how, then I will read whatever you send to us.
That's true.
What else? I think that's it. The only other note I had was I had two other notes that we're not going to go into. I wrote that I think I have dementia. And then I wrote right after that. I wrote that the other night, and then like in the middle of the night, and then this morning when I went outside to take the garbage out, I thought that the outside smelled like sand.
Gross.
Like, you know, like beach sand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was like, oh, what? That's weird. And then I came back outside later, and it smelled like sand still when I came here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know. Like, I know that if you have a stroke, you smell like toast or something.
Yeah. Burnt toast.
If any of you guys know what smelling sand means when you don't live at the beach, please let me know. And that's all I got.
Yep. Shout out, everybody. Who needs shouting
Indeed.
and outing?
Yep.
Light up.
Farewell. Farewell.
We'll cut this out.
Farewell.
All right, Dan. Our album's coming out real soon.
Play Warzone with us. We always have room for more people. Unless there's exactly 4 of us, then don't invite yourself. But if there's 5 of us, come join.
Oh, that's the other thing. While he's pulling this up, dude, I was watching a Twitch stream. These comedians were they were gonna like drink hot sauce, like really hot sauce, if they got up to like a certain amount of donations during the stream. We should do some kind of stream like that. We should like a review, like a movie review stream. And during that stream, we should say, if anyone donates $1 during the stream, then we will gouge our eyes out.
Hell yeah.
That'd be cool.
If anyone donates $5, we will literally kill Cayden.
I'm down.
We'll cut his head off with a scimitar.
I will be the Abinadi's son.
Yeah. We will sacrifice him to our god.
Here we will build a temple to our gods.
Yeah, dude. We will sacrifice Cayden to some kind of ritual. If we get $10, and if you donate $20, it'll be the ritual of your choice.
Yeah.
We'll sacrifice it to the demigod of your choice.
And then if you donate $5,000 a month, you can pick the method of which I am sacrificed.
And if you donate $10,000 a month, then I'll follow you back on Twitter.
Damn.
It's like this episode of Community. Starburns is trying to create a cat car, a car that's run by cats.
Hell yeah!
And he's like, if you donate $10, you get a thank you email. If you donate $50, you get a T-shirt. If you donate $100, you get a thank you email and a T-shirt.
Hell yeah! Dude.
That's gonna be us.
That's freaking sweet.
Yeah.
Farewell.